Damn, Apollo, you crazy.
And that's why I hold my breath at times where I should speak up. That's why I say my health is bad when you wanna leak up. Cause the stress is hard to hide, but I move with pride and ride for my guys and die. Know that I'm a blessed times, but know that I'm out here trying.
Yeah, I made it out that mud, made it out that dirt. Going harder for my dreams while I'm still on this earth. Had to step into that mosque and step away from church. On my way back to Allah and all that I deserve. Had to pay up for my sins, lessons that I learned. Had to give and sacrifice before my life was turned. And now I know that none of these bitches made me more than merch. And I keep pushing to the end even though it hurt. I'm just trying to find my way out. 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 Cause when I lost my dog, I thought it was the end. When Trevor lost his life, it was just the beginning. When I see Frankie fall, I couldn't fucking breathe. Lord, why'd you take my dogs and leave the pain with me? Cause I've been fighting back these tears, Lord. No longer fear my death, but only fear God. I watched them turn to angels, now they watching over me. That pain will fade away, my only choice is to succeed. With Apollo, I'ma take off to the moon. See my dogs in the sky, I'll be coming home soon. Taking my shahada, now that life is so new. Knew I would make it out doing what I'm supposed to. I'm just trying to find my way out. I'm just trying to find my way out. I'm just trying to find my way out. I'm just trying to find my way out.
Move with pride and ride for my guys and die. Know that I'm a mess at times, but know that I'm out here trying.
What's going on, everybody? How are we doing? Kind of messed up there. I was like trying to figure out because I had us muted. And then I couldn't find the button. I was just like kind of like messing around. But hi, how's everybody doing out there? February 11th, 2025. Dave, hi.
Hi. Hello.
You're
I'm
here?
not feeling incredibly well.
No, you will be off screen for most of the
Yes,
show probably.
yes.
But you will just be a little arrow floating with some like bubblies coming out every time you want to talk a little bit, which
Yes.
always makes it fun because then I have no idea when the fuck you want to talk. So that's always good.
Yeah, I'll be piping in every so often.
That is good to know that you are piping.
Mhm.
Anyway, we appreciate everybody that is watching, whether you are watching from X, Kick, YouTube, Facebook, Rumble, all the spots over there. We appreciate all of you guys. Nate G coming in right away hot with the fuck the we appreciate that. We are here. There was a lot that went on, and we're not going to cover it all because there's no fucking way we could talk about everything that's been going on in our little bit of time that we're going to do a show. But we are going to have some fun, and yeah, that's all there is to say about that. I'm Forrest Gumping over here. Wherever you're watching from, do your due diligence. Like, share, follow, subscribe, rate 5 stars, all that good stuff. Leave us some chats. Let people know that we're around every once in a while. And my quick preamble, Dave, pretty soon I am not going to have to talk about the Epstein client list because
That's what we're hoping on.
not only does it, we hope Kash Patel gets confirmed, right? He should. I'm imagining he will. That's number one. But number two, Pam Bondi's on fucking board too. So, and Pam Bondi has been confirmed as AG. So we are excited here that I'm not going to have to bring up the Epstein client list. But one thing I do have to continue to bring up, Dave, is the FEMA transparency. I haven't heard anyone talk about that yet. Maybe they'll get to it when DOGE runs fucking through FEMA because they already are running through FEMA right now. And
I thought I already saw a little bit of something about FEMA.
They are. I think they're running through.
That they fired those who used money to house illegals, if I remember correctly.
It was
something like that.
59 million or something like
Yes,
that to still after the executive order was put out. So the head of FEMA was fired, but I hope that they get into the nuts and bolts of why Trump supporters were skipped in North Carolina, which also, remember, people of North Carolina, people of Tennessee, people of East Palestine, people of Lahaina, people of California. There's so many people to give to. But if you could find it in your heart right now, especially as it's cold in North Carolina and such, give what you can. Don't forget about them. If you can't give, pray for them. Honestly, send your prayers out. That is massive as well. The power of prayer is real. So do that as well. Always support Moms for Liberty. Moms for Liberty is dope. I will always talk about them. And we are on a great path right now with the way Trump is going. In his first 20 days, 20 something days, he's been fucking a machine. The people that he has confirmed so far have been absolutely rolling, with Christine Noem already going down to the border, Tom Homan giving no fucks. Tom Homan might be my favorite person on the planet.
Marco Rubio being surprisingly based on what
We
he's
have to talk about that. That's actually, let's start off with that real quick before we get into anything, Dave. It just came out that Trump didn't give his good graces to JD Vance as an official heir
doing.
apparent.
So I don't know if you saw the full clip, but he was saying no because it's too early to call on anyone to be an heir apparent. So that, and that's a good statement from Trump, to be quite honest with you.
And I'm telling you, the dark horse is Marco Rubio, because
With
if
the way he's doing,
Marco does this for 4 years, he's going to have the record that Vance doesn't have. And that's huge, because vice presidents really don't do a fucking thing. If we're being quite honest, they're there, they do speeches, they're the first diplomat sent over if the president can't go places. And JD Vance is going to be a great representative. The way he handled Ro Khanna the other day was amazing.
Mhm.
And the way he handles, the "I really don't care, Margaret" is a fucking fantastic meme.
That will be the big battle if Marco Rubio does keep this trend up of actually doing things that people want him to do, versus the narrative ability of JD Vance.
Narrative ability, and people are just talking about the value of Rubio being fluent in Spanish and how good he's been with Panama and things like that, and negotiating, and also knowing that culture a little more, because he's Cuban, he's Hispanic, and Latino. So that's big. If he continues to go like this, he's going to have the resume to back up what he says. Now, you're looking at him, who I didn't expect Rubio to be a dark horse. And if he keeps this up, he might be the leader, right? If he does, Trump's bidding as Secretary of State, which is the number 2 really in line, right? In terms of power structure, what does happen. He's important. Obviously, Vance is going to have a fast track, just being the running mate. And then if Vivek goes to Ohio as the governor and is a really good governor for 2 years, when Trump is potentially a lame for those final 2,
he has to be able to win, though.
He's
really hurt himself in a lot of ways. He's trying to really repair his image.
But he's up 30 points currently.
Yeah.
From what I saw. And Vivek's a smart guy. He'll be fine. But yeah, it's been really interesting. Nate, I see your comments over there. When we get to sports, we'll talk a little bit more about all that stuff. So I'm not going to ignore you, Nate, but we will get to that stuff.
Yes.
So yeah, I just wanted to throw that out. That was, Rubio is positioning himself as the front runner for 2028. I'm not going to lie. We'll see. He has to keep it going. He's doing and saying all the right things, but man, his resume is going to be insane if he helps do what Trump wants to do. All right. So we're going to get into the fun stuff, because Dave, one of the topics that we're coming up, I think I'm going to add to my preamble. But let's start off, Dave, with our headline here. Let's talk about, no, we're not going to start off with that. No, we're starting off with some,
you confused yourself.
Yes, some Friday funnies on a Tuesday. So let's jump into this to share screen. So for those that don't know, we were inadvertently brought into not necessarily controversy, but a moment, right? That happened. So we had this brought up to us by a friend that we are famous for one of our former guests. You see over there, episode 107, John Della Rose, the founder of Fandom Pulse, growing an influence on X. I'll say that. Very, very, very Christian. We had our show with John Trent and things like that. Very much on the Christian right side of comics and gaming and things like that. And we don't have to state how we feel about that stuff. I've talked about how much I dislike the Puritan right in a lot of ways, even though there's a necessity, but I'm not a fan in a lot of ways, even though John was fucking dope on the show, right, Dave? We had a good time talking to John.
Yeah, I remember enjoying the conversations. So.
Yeah, and it was a cool conversation. He's a good dude. From everything he did to us, he's never done anything wrong to me. Now, I know there's been some shit dug up about John. I personally don't give a shit about any of that. I didn't experience it. I'm not going to sit there and judge everyone by their past, their skeletons, their things like that. But there are people that do that. And there are people that make their whole entire online identity ripping, dunking on each other, right? The Puritan right rips what's going on with the people that they believe and the things that they believe are impure. And then you have the people that call them grifters that in turn grift off of calling them grifters. So I digress with that. We jumped in here. So we were informed that our picture was used here to basically dunk on John De La Rose from Games Nosh. I thought it was Games Noah this whole time. Games Nosh.
How did you not read that correctly?
Because I'm a retard. First time now I'm reading it's Games Nosh. I thought it was Games Noah. Anyway, the furry wife beater is the owner of Fandom Pulse. If you fall for this manufactured rage bait, this is paying this man's wages.
That is paying this man's wages. I genuinely question your intelligence. Jesus Christ.
Sorry. So for me, I read that. And part of it's like, well, we're fucking like, we look like assholes, right? Like our logo's right there.
Yeah. It's
so
like, oh, well.
Our intelligence is being questioned, right? So, we talked a little bit about this. We found it funny. So there was so many ways we could go, right? We could be assholes. We could be like, oh, rah, rah, rah. Like you go against him, call him out. Instead, we decided to take the retard route. So Dave, if you want to scroll down to my comment, you could see it there. You could scroll down a little more. We responded, if you're going to call us retarded, the least you could do is link the show. We've had plenty of other guests from all sides on. Also, you're welcome to jump on too. Come be retarded with us. So we knew that could go a few ways, right? That could go a few ways. It can go sideways. He can tell us we're dicks. He could tell us we're assholes for associating with John and things like that, or we're just as bad. To Games Nosh's credit, chill as hell. Okay.
Yeah, lots of credit, to be completely honest.
Because on the internet, it's real easy to be dicks. It's real easy to sit there and be like, you platformed him. You're a piece of shit, right? Because that's how a lot of people go. Go ahead, Dave. You had to say something.
Well, I was just going to say, and his reasoning is also the reasoning I talked about with you.
Agreed.
I thought it was.
Yeah. But you never know on the internet, right? So he goes on, he responds, your podcast image was simply the first Google result that had JDL's name, photo, and showed me he is the owner of Fandom Pulse, which we do that. It wasn't a comment on your content or intelligence, just a convenient image to inform people who this grifter is and that he's responsible for false CSEM story. Okay, so again, that was chill. I was fine with that. I thought there was an awesome comment back. So I just basically re-invited him and I said, hooray for Google putting us first in the algorithms.
Yeah, it's actually surprising that we're first in the algorithm.
We were the first one to have all that information. Probably not the first one.
That's true. Yes.
And since then, we don't have that information on those anymore. We just kind of put their names. So who knows? And yeah, so I just said, no worries. I invited him back on. But yeah, I just thought that was funny.
It was something to randomly pop up on my drive home from work in the morning. So
that's great. So yeah, popped up on work. It was brought to us by a friend of the show, so we loved it. It was really good, and no shot at John at all. We just want to bring it up. I don't give a shit what anyone else's problem is with John. But yeah, we just wanted to bring that up.
Thank you, Games Nosh, for not being
an internet person.
Yes, for
being a real
person.
Yeah, for being normal. And again, I repeat, Games Nosh, you're always welcome on the show. You want to come talk and you want to come and rant about how much you fucking hate these people as well, we'll give you the platform to do it. We don't care. We'll bullshit with you.
Yeah.
So you are welcome to come on. All right, Dave, let's jump into US has AIDS.
Enough of the internet controversies. Now to government controversies. I'm sorry. I'm a little sick, so I'm punch drunk, Anyway, Blaze Media put out this article, Candace Hathaway, what a name, unraveling the deep state. Here are the most egregious things USAID was doing with your money.
And these are just the most egregious that they believe, right? Like there is a fucking shit ton of things that they did.
Yeah, and actually we should hit these comments real quick before we're moving on.
Yeah, go for it.
Nate saying Goonergate, yeah. I mean, all of that's a big part of Goonergate.
Yes.
Saying I'm not a big Melanie Mac fan. That's fair. That's fair.
It is.
Also handled excellently. Thank you, Nate.
See, the thing is that always bothers me, and again, this is not a shot necessarily at anyone, but it's, Melanie Mac falls into that role of the preachy but single, no kids, conservative female, right? And then you have the preachy, no family, no kids guy. And they sit there and they are trying to tell you how to live. And listen, I've agreed with Melanie Mac a ton on things too. Like, especially when the left was reigning, I agreed a fucking ton with Melanie Mac and things that she had to say. And it seems like this switch up has happened since the right has gotten into power. all of a sudden, a lot of people that we all agreed with are now turning into the people saying, well, this is now how you should start living. And it's like, I'm sorry. No. Like, you can't sit there and be anti-censorship, right, Dave? And then all of a sudden want to be, but I'm not going to tell you what to do.
Yeah. Well,
Like, it
and the thing is, I also
fucking,
think there is a deeper thing here between everyone that's arguing about it, because while it is a big push from people saying that this is how I think you should live, from however you want to put it, whether you
a lot
think
of them are using
what do
Christianity
you
as
think it's
their
specifically
veil.
Christian or not, whatever, because some people say, well, it's not real, whatever. I'm not going to argue in that aspect.
No.
But I will say this, because I think that it should be acknowledged that when you also take the stance of how the other part of Goonagate. Sorry, I'm a little fucked up right now. but
Just like the stance of everything goes, it doesn't matter
yeah,
type
but
of shit.
you're also making a prescriptive value of how people should live, right? So
Yeah.
that is my thing. There is that, and you have just acknowledge it. Like, that's fine. Like, I do think people should live with liberty, with the ability to choose what they want to do. A lot of people don't want to do that, though. But, and I don't want to get deep into that,
I
but
mean, it's kind of the way that we kind of like to do. It's just like we don't give a fuck, right? Like, we're
Yeah.
cool. Like, I will have, and the thing is too, I will have those involved. JDA wants to come back on the show. Welcome. Melanie
Yeah.
wants to come on the show. Welcome.
Yeah.
I know Razor Fist has been caught up in a bunch of this. I'm actually a Razor Fist fan. I have one of his fucking books sitting back behind me. Razor's welcome. Like, we could talk about this shit. I don't care, right? Like,
yeah, but I just, like I said, I think I don't want to get too far into this.
no, we don't have to go into the weeds too
But
much.
I just said, if we're gonna have a genuine conversation about this stuff, I just hate positioning myself as like some kind of middle ground or anything like that. No, you have values, you have certain things. You're not a middle ground. Stop acting like you're getting attacked from two fronts. Don't do that, because that just
No.
it's another way to play into, well, I'm right because I'm not radical. No. Be radical in your values. Be understanding in how much you want to push your values, because that's what you're doing.
Yeah.
And that's perfectly fine. That's how you actually accomplish things. But
Yeah.
that's all I want to say on that.
Yeah, and I think it's just kind of like, I agree with facts on both sides, right? And that's kind of where I stand. I have my values. I'm still a Christian, but I'm at the same time, like I said, I'm not a Puritan. And I think that's kind of where I fall. I could still separate arts from,
Yes.
like, I have to live this way. And I'm not going to knock people that, censor shit because they don't want to live that way. That's why Angel Studios initially had their one thing where it censored and took out all like the non-Christian stuff in movies and films, so people that were heavily Christian could watch them. Like, do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
All right, Dave, let's talk about this article now.
Yes. Well, there's a little bit of a preamble about, how we're getting our money stolen. But I
Yeah.
just want to get directly into the list of what USAID was spending our money on. So
These are
they
hilarious.
switch them up in different ways: DEI, LGBT, and there's a couple others underneath this.
They
but
did
we'll
a
go
pretty
through
good
them.
job like categorizing them.
Yes. So in DEI, $45 million to diversity, equity, inclusion scholarships in Burma. The DOGE report. I guess that works. The DOGE reported that 7 DEI related USAID contracts valued at $375 million were canceled.
So thing is too, and it's like when you read these things, the leftists will go, "You don't like diversity, you don't like inclusion and equity. That's what
doesn't
this
work
gets you
anymore,
there.
right?
This gets you there. This gets you that." And it's like, no, asshole. No, I don't. Like, all you have to say is no. And what part don't you like? All of it. Like, that's it. It all sucks. I don't have to explain it to you. We've seen the proof of the pudding. You're wrong, motherfucker. Like, that's it. Keep going. Sorry. Let me know if you want me to read anything.
No, I get it. 1.5 million to advance diversity, equity, inclusion in Serbia's workplaces and business communities by promoting economic empowerment of and opportunity for LGBTQI plus people. I'm used to an A there. That's why I paused. The program aimed to expand opportunities and reduce workplace discrimination.
What's crazy is, like, I laugh at this, but this is our tax-paying money.
No, that's the thing.
Mine and your money going this way.
And millions may be pennies to the trillions that were in the deficit, but it's still a lot of fucking money to a regular person. So 1.5 million to art for inclusion of people with disabilities, 19 million for 2 separate inclusion programs in Vietnam, and 1.3 million to provide Arab and Jewish residents with a collaborative platform for photography skills. The program offered participants mixed identity photography workshops.
So what's funny is I heard about the $19 million one from a few of the shows. Glenn Beck, Pac Ray covered it. And what's funny is one of them got like 3 million and then the second one got 16. So it's like one of them got fucking shafted.
Oh,
Like,
Jesus.
like what, like how mean? So I'll take this one so you don't have to read them all.
Well,
LGBT.
hold up.
What? Oh, Nate.
We're trying to tell Nate that investing in Peruvian trans comics is not money well spent, but he's going to point us to Marvel and DC trans comics, and you have a little bit of a point there, Nate.
You have to wonder how much of USAID went to Marvel, went to DC to push some of this diversity. You know, the new 52 is probably 100% USAID.
It might not have been. Well, the thing is, I mean, like USAID has been busted for a whole bunch of things, but there's probably so many organizations that give random money to not only like
in different federal companies, different
not
federal
only
ways to
profit companies, but NGOs get a
100%.
ton of money from government. The non-government.
Which did you see that he's going to audit all NGOs? That's also another thing that Trump's doing. Yeah, he's auditing all NGOs.
They're not supposed to be getting federal money.
Yeah, all NGOs that receive federal funding are getting audited. So it's fucking fantastic. Anyway, so let's jump into the LGBTQ causes that USAID was so desperately trying to help the people out with. $2 million for activity to strengthen trans-led organizations to deliver gender-affirming healthcare in Guatemala. I mean, there's a ton of fucking trans people in Guatemala. They need help. $37.7 million to study HIV among sex workers, their clients, and transgender people in South Africa. I mean, gotta make sure we keep those fucking sex workers clean. $7.9 million to teach Sri Lankan journalists about gender-sensitive reporting. Well, I mean, who doesn't want to be gender sensitive in Sri Lanka? They're not a war-torn place. That's what they need to give a fuck about. $1.1 million to empower the LGBTI community and protect them from violence and discrimination in Armenia. Like, listen, motherfucker, Armenians, you got to protect everyone from Armenians. They just like to beat the shit out of everything.
Armenians are an interesting group.
Armenians, honestly, they are. I really would love to see just like Armenians and Dagestanis just fucking, because there's no Armenians in the MMA because they don't organize anything. They will just do it in the street, period. So Armenians are like, again, maybe you just need to spend another like 70 trillion teaching them how to not fucking punch everything. Because Armenians just fucking fight and they're hilarious. And the last thing here that this is just, and remember, this is just a small snippet the Blaze tried to pick out as the most egregious. There's a fuck ton more. $1.5 million to upscale LGBT rights advocacy in Jamaica. And I don't know, man. Dave, I don't know how many Caribbean islanders you met, Jamaicans. They don't give a fuck about any of that shit.
Yeah. And the thing is,
they will sit there and call it out in public and just be like, that ain't my kid.
Yeah.
They don't give a fuck.
And the thing is, even if you think some of these are good things, you know, if you think any of this money is actually really going to the things it's supposed to be going to, I have some beachfront property in Iowa to sell you, bud. Like that's none of this money goes to whatever it's supposed to be going to. They go to specific people or groups of people.
Just like all the money in Africa we've ever given. I saw a hilarious meme today. It was like before trillions given to Africa, and it was like a hut in like a middle of nothing. Then it was like after trillions in Africa, it was still the same fucking hut. Yeah. There's like nothing built around it at all.
Nate saying HIV can't slip through during Davos. Yeah.
Lots slips through.
I wonder how much the I guess I'll quote unquote sex work business just rises when World Economic Forum is going on and everything.
A ton, because they probably have a giant fucking gross ass orgy and bring in a bunch of sex workers.
Yeah.
Because those things, those little Satan worshipping things, part of their rituals is to basically humiliate and do sex work and a bunch of orgies. Just watch Eyes Wide Shut. Honestly, I think that's Alex Jones is the way he described it, because he like snuck in. He famously
snuck into Bohemian Grove. Yeah,
Bohemian Grove, and he flat out was like, "This looks like it's out of Eyes Wide Shut." They're walking around in masks. They're on the extravagant clothes.
Yeah, there is a conspiracy theory.
Sex work and shit right there.
Kubrick might have been snuffed out because of that film.
Oh, 100%. What? That is not even a doubt that he was fucking snuffed out because of that, because he exposed what goes on with the powerful and the wealthy. Like, and the thing is, though, all of this stuff has been in plain sight, right? We've seen this for years. We have known that people in Hollywood have been taking advantage of people in order to get roles. Like Harvey Weinstein shouldn't have surprised anybody. We knew this stuff. We just didn't have places to prove it. Just like we've known all about this government corruption, right? The conservatives have been calling this out since we were born. Rush Limbaugh talked about this every day on his show, basically, how fucking corrupt and how wasteful things are. Now, finally, we're getting the proof in the pudding.
Mhm.
Do you want to read the climate hysteria one here?
Yeah. So for climate hysteria, we have 520 million for consultant-driven environmental, social, and governance investments in Africa, according to DOGE.
So quickly, for people that don't know, ESG.
Yeah, I was gonna say
is
very interesting.
ESG
those,
is there,
those words there.
and 520 million for ESG. ESG is what they push for all the corporations. Like we hear about DEI and things going away. ESG is how corporations are scored, and based off these scores is what the banks are giving them the money.
Starts with corporations, right? But
starts there, but that's basically how they get the money from banks.
Yeah, Nate's saying it's staggering about the sex work that happens around that time. And last article I read was 300 women and trannies shipped in for Davos. Yeah, that's not really surprised. I'm actually more surprised I wouldn't be just straight up femboys. There's no real hiding, it's just straight up femboys or whatever. But anyway,
and just remember that fucking Ezra Levant was chasing around Pat Ryan.
Ryan?
No. Pat Ryan. Pat Ryan's a fucking House member right now. Sorry, Pat Ryan. I did not mean to slander you. Paul Ryan. I don't like Pat Ryan. I don't think he's very good. He's a leftist, but I'm not going to slander you that way. I don't know your lifestyle. All I know is he's a military man from the Hudson Valley. I actually met him once. He's a nice guy. I just think his fucking ideology is terrible. But Paul Ryan. Ezra Levant was following Paul Ryan around while he was at Davos. So just throwing that out there. Go ahead, Dave.
2.5 million to build electric vehicle charging stations and other related infrastructure in Vietnam. Through the USAID Vietnam Urban Energy Security Project, the agency has provided funding and technical assistance for innovative solutions that address urban energy and environment issues.
Who the fuck's driving an electric vehicle in Vietnam? They don't even have houses yet.
1 million to assist disabled people in Tajikistan to become climate leaders.
So they just want to make a bunch of fucking Greta Thunbergs in Tajikistan?
Yeah. They're specifically disabled ones.
Disabled. They've we know Greta's a retard. Yeah. So they want to do that there?
24 million for a green transportation and logistics program in Georgia. Not Georgia.
State, even though it wouldn't work in the state because they'd just be like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
But so I want to get this here from Nate G. They still hunt and eat albinos in some African countries. I'm sure they care about the environment. In their defense, they should.
To be fair, albinos are pretty tasty.
And they have red eyes, some of them.
I don't know why I said that. I'm sorry.
Have you ever seen the movie Powder? They fucking fade away if they want to.
I've never seen that movie. Actually.
You've never seen Powder? Powder is fucking, it's a weird movie, dude.
No.
Really weird movie.
You can continue on. I got to grab my charger because I didn't charge my phone. No, 1 second.
Okay, so cultural and educational propaganda. 20 million on Alan Simsim, a new Sesame Street show in Iraq. According to a now archived version of USAID's website, the children's series was designed to promote inclusion, mutual respect, and understanding across ethnic, religious, and sectarian groups. Now, while I don't disregard that Iraq probably needs that in terms of, not wanting to fucking kill people, but the fact that we just gave 20 million to do it is ridiculous. 6 million for tourism in Egypt, according to the White House. Corporate media outlets were quick to fact check a press release linked by the Trump administration, arguing that it did not mention that the funds would also be used for tourism purposes. However, USAID has invested 100 million in taxpayer dollars that has either directly or indirectly boosted Egypt's tourism, including an $8.6 million campaign in 2022, which is crazy, right? Like, you would think that a place like Egypt, which in Africa is kind of like the golden goose, because you ask somebody if Egypt's in Africa, they won't fucking know, right? I don't think many people know Egypt's in Africa. I'm not going to lie.
That's a geographical issue, not exactly.
I just don't think they know.
But Egypt
does not seem it. So Egypt's not treated like an African nation, right? And it's not treated that way. It's not treated like, we don't treat Egypt as like, oh, it's just those poor Africans, right? They're Egyptian. We treat them differently for whatever reason. And maybe it's because they have the pyramids, they have the Sphinx. And maybe, honestly, you want to know why? It's because it's in the fucking Bible, everybody. That's why we treat it differently. It is a biblical place. But like, we shouldn't have to pay them to fucking feed them tourism. Number one, stop engaging in terroristic wars. That's the first fucking part. Maybe people want to come. Don't back terrorists. That's number one. Number two, you have the pyramids. You have the Sphinx. That's all you should have to do.
Sphinx.
Rustle up $2 million and fucking send it out. Blast it out to the world. You're good. People will come. Anyway, 1.2 million to construct a state-of-the-art 440-seat auditorium for the African Methodist Episcopal Church Service Development Agency in Washington, D.C. Why? Like, at least this one's in the United States. Maybe that's like something, right? Like, at least it's here. But the fuck? In a state-of-the-art 440-seat, like, why does that cost $1.2 million? That's not even big. Like,
well, yeah,
it's not even big. All right. So,
and another thing though is, why is the government giving out money for church service? That is,
well,
not something.
It's Episcopalian. Is it really church?
Well, it's still, yeah. I'm just saying, you know, everyone wants to say all this stuff about separation of church and state, and then the government goes ahead and does it, usually for subterfuge, you know. But it's still like, you know, you would think you would see more interest in that.
Yeah. So 31.5 million on counseling, organizational resilience, wellness, and work-life support for USAID workers, employees. So I mean, fuck you.
Workers works fine there.
Yeah, employees. But it's like the 31 that's to wellness and work-life support. Like, I'm sorry, you're getting paid taxpayer dollars already. We don't want to spend another just on that branch, on USAID, which, remind everybody, 1961 is when it was started by JFK through an EO. It wasn't codified as an actual department of the government until the 90s during the Clinton administration. So this thing has been working for 60 years, and for half of its life, it was under an EO. So it wasn't even actual department. So people want to complain about DOGE, which, mind you, existed during the Clinton era under Rigo. It existed under Obama.
I can't forget what it is. There's actually, funny enough, there's a green text that really compiles how Doge came to be pretty well, but I can't remember how exactly it went. But yeah, no, Doge was kind of just, they used an Obama era department that he was going to use for something. I can't exactly remember right now, but they used that department because it was just a shell, really, at that point. They weren't able to get it up and running well. So they used that in order to just create Doge very quickly.
Well, they created quickly, but what I'm saying is, like, people that complain about it, there's absolute precedent, because it is a agency like this has basically existed in almost every single administration, because they all have the propaganda goal of, we're going to be the ones that weed things out and make it streamlined and make it work better for you. And none of them do it, right? This is the first time we're actually seeing it happen. But so let's continue. 29 million to improve the skills of young and female Egyptians in the manufacturing and service sectors. So hold on. Only the young and female. So is it young boys too, or just young and girls? Or
no, it's just young and female.
Young and female. So so fuck these people again. 4.5 million to advance integrity and accountability in the information space and build societal resilience in the face of disinformation in Kazakhstan. Specifically Kazakhstan. Here's the thing. This is that gobbledygook, Dave. This is that only a government could write this, right?
Yeah.
Integrity and accountability in the information space and build societal resilience. This is leftist talk. That is UN World Economic Forum style talk. Because all that really means is that we want to make sure in social media, anywhere that shares information, that our message is the only one that's heard. That's integrity and accountability, making sure that if you're not saying what we believe there, we're going to make sure that we check that.
Well, yeah, they'll put a bunch of fact checkers in
Kazakhstan. And societal resilience, whenever you hear the word resilience, just remember it means reprogramming. That's what that means. That when you're becoming resilient, well, like when they talk about, like, whiteness, and if you're learning resilience in terms of dealing with your whiteness, that just means that you're figuring out how to be programmed. Let me do the last one here. 6 million to transform digital spaces to reflect feminist Democrat principles.
Democratic
principles, same thing. Again, when they say democratic, they mean communist because they use that term in the communist term.
Interesting how feminist slipped in there, but I do want to get to
Well, I mean,
Nate's,
feminism is fucking communism at this point.
Nate's
It always has
comments on
been.
that section. I saw clips of that Sesame Street. I didn't hate it. Now, there is a cartoon. I can't remember. I think some terrorist had a cartoon going on. I can't remember what country it was. Not a cartoon. I'm sorry. A like Sesame Street type show. It's
Yeah.
where like the off-brand Mickey. I don't know if you ever seen like memes with that weird looking. I think it was kind of Mickey kind of character, but it's the most ridiculous shit I've ever seen. A part of it's pretty funny just because of how off the wall it is to us, but it was specifically to just put kids in like learn have kids learn about why they should be against like Jewish and infidels and stuff like that.
Oh, no.
That show. It was the most insane shit to see clips
Seems
of and
like
watch.
it.
But I don't know. Some of it was just really fucking funny because it's a way because it was a guy's voice doing like this high pitched. Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm just going on about nothing. Anyway,
It's okay.
Egypt to geography is the Cowboys to football. That's rough.
That's
rough.
accurate.
Giving money to churches is how you get woke lesbo preachers. Yes.
Bishops, which they can't be.
Yes, bishops. Yeah, exactly. And they can't be preachers, really. More nefariously, they funded 90% of Ukraine media from 1992 or 3 to 2014, the Maidan.
And I'm not surprised. And we found out they fucking gave money to the BBC.
Yes,
and they also gave money to fucking Politico for subscriptions of $10,000 a prescription for everyone basically in USAID.
Yeah, but yes, Mosin, you're talking about the Hamas. It was Hamas propaganda. There's a Nick Crowley video about it like 5 years ago. Pretty twisted stuff. Yeah, and it's funny because I did watch that Nick Crowley video as well.
And what's up, Mosin? How are you?
Yes, good to see you, Mosin. We'll be getting into non-political stuff actually very soon.
Yes,
actually decently soon. I forgot we have
a
couple more. Anyway, I'll finish this off.
Yep.
We'll finish this pretty quickly. Foreign policy and security risks. 160 million to update payment systems in Afghanistan. Very interesting.
Well, I mean, how are they going to funnel? Because we've definitely made inroads there in Afghanistan. Well, we did until Biden fucked it up.
I'm gonna give Afghanistan a little bit of leeway here because of Lord Miles and Callum.
Yes, we do. Yes. You know what? Actually, keep on funneling to them. Make those payment systems upgraded so Lord Miles can make more money and Callum. Not to make money, damn it.
Even though Miles fucked himself up with a fucking hair surgery. I don't know if you saw any of that.
No,
he's
what
an
did
idiot.
he do? I mean, Miles doesn't give a fuck. Okay, he just does.
If he died from that instead of any of his trips, that would actually be kind of hilarious, darkly comedic. Anyway,
I'm gonna go look now.
1 million to a Hamas-linked charity in Gaza. That's not surprising. 15 million for condoms and oral contraceptives in Taliban-controlled Afghanistan. 4.67 million.
Hold on. We can't just skip over that. We can't. So let's give them to Taliban-controlled Afghanistan so that these people can continue to rape little boys and girls, but they better do it safely. Anyway, and make sure you're not passing things on.
4.67 million to EcoHealth Alliance, a research organization that funded the Wuhan lab linked to the COVID-19 virus. There's probably actually more that went to EcoHealth. This is just what we found so far.
This is from one part of the Fed.
Yeah, 330 million to fund alternative development projects that fail to deter farmers and drug traffickers from cultivating poppy plants, thereby inadvertently fueling heroin production trafficking in Afghanistan. I love those quotations because they 100% fueled heroin production and trafficking in Afghanistan. If I remember correctly,
which is their biggest profit.
Both of the times that the Taliban has gotten control of Afghanistan, they've actually shut down the heroin production, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
So
inadvertently.
Yeah.
So Mosin coming in here, meeting the Mickey Mouse ripoff show. It's really creepy. Yeah, that's what Dave was talking about.
It's really creepy, but another part of it, at least for me, is darkly comedic in a way. Obviously, there's
that's because you're fucked up.
Yeah, but there's real world ramifications. But I mean, if you kind of like take yourself out of it, it's just like there's some dark comedy to what the fuck's going on there.
Nate also coming in and say, I would encourage you guys to watch the Andrew show on the Wayback Machine. The KKK's version of Sesame Street, fucking wild. Saw it on Tower Gang. I'm not surprised
That's
the Tower Gang had it, not gonna lie, but they find some fucking awesome shit. Tower Gang's dope.
And yeah, just like you guys are saying, oral contraceptives is birth control.
Yeah, oral con. Yeah, that's what it is. Taliban also kills the pedos. Do they? Do they though? They kill the pedos that are useless to them because a bunch of them are fucking pedos. It's honestly, I don't know if it's actually Afghan practice where they found out it was in Sweden. I think they had a whole bunch of maybe Afghan or some sort of Muslim group, and part of the way that they hazed the boys was that they
Swedish.
fucking raped them.
Yeah, well, you're thinking of Bakabazi probably.
Something like that.
Where
But
they
then
dance, where they dance for the older man, and it's I don't want to get into that.
the Swedish police wouldn't fucking touch them because they weren't allowed to.
Yeah,
Anyway.
but yeah. So that is
tip
a
of the
whole
iceberg.
bunch of stuff that USAID was paying money into, and there's still a whole controversy going on because that's how a lot of people get paid. So people don't want to shut down.
What's great is that this is just one fucking part of the government, and they are flying through FEMA. They're going into the Department of Education. Trump wants to get them into the IRS. They are going to systematically go into every single branch of the government. I know he's going to have them audit the Pentagon, and Pete Hegseth's like, whatever you need, bring it on. Come on in. Let's get these fuckers out. Whatever you find, I'm behind it.
Like, to be quite honest, this first month has almost felt like years of a presidency within a month, and it's going to continue feeling like that because of all this shit that's going down. But I'm interested in more years of news and weeks.
The thing is, what DOGE is doing is more consequential than any executive order he's done because this stuff is pretty permanent, right? He is letting go of full-on groups and not without cause. That's the thing. DOGE is coming in and finding cause, which makes this all the difference, right? That with all this corruption, all this fraud, all of this just, useless spending that was going on for years and years and years, this now gives Elon Musk and Donald Trump cause to let these people go and to hack and slash it. Because before, if he would have just sat there and been like, I've looked into USAID's useless, I'm firing everyone, more backlash than we're seeing now, right?
Yeah.
But at least with DOGE exposing all this shit, now it gives ammo not only to Trump, but to any of us who are over here talking about it.
And it puts it into public consciousness, And real quick, Nate G learning you right here. Taliban is Pashtun and the Bakabazi is Sunni. So
same thing.
And I'm not skipping over most of it. Said mostly Wahhabi in Afghanistan. The Wahhabi and Sunni do the Bakabazi.
I mean,
the Taliban is not. Hey, look, I'm perfectly fine being told I'm wrong.
I will separate them, but I'm just being an asshole.
Yeah.
No, listen, they are separate, obviously.
Yeah. Mohsen saying it's great to get the confirmation of all of the corruption we all knew was going on for decades. I fear the damage done may be a little too late. And you're hoping it's not, right? But
I can't blackpill with what's going on.
Exactly. There's obviously still some ramifications from what is going on, even with all that Trump's doing. And, at least he was decently honest about it. Like, there's going to be short-term issues for people. Like, we're going to have some sort of short-term trouble with some of the shit he's doing, but it's for a long-term gain because of all the muck that has been pushed on us in the first place.
And and the thing is, it's like, as you look at it and what's going on, he is getting rid of government bloat and government workers in different ways, right? Offering the CIA and all these government employees like, hey, you can get 8 months paid. Go the fuck away, right? Yes. You can quit now. We'll pay you for 8 months. Go find a new job. I don't care if you find a job tomorrow. We're going to pay you for 8 months. You're going to get your whatever you're getting to go find a new job. And that is another clever way of saying, if you're fucking useless or corrupt or not on the up and up, this is your get out of jail free card. Go before we find you. And I just thought it was a genius way to do it in order to, get these people the fuck out of there. And it's just a creative ways outside of DOGE finding corruption. That's a creative way to say, hey, if you're, don't want to be a part of my administration,
it's a real quick get out of jail free card.
Absolutely. So, Mohsen over here, there's a reason people like Pelosi and McConnell are still in Congress. They have to be. No choice in the matter. They're subservient as the high-paid skid greasers for all the fraud we are seeing. I think that's just part of it. The skid greasers. We're going to find out corruption at the lobbyist level. I think we're going to see that. And I said to Dave before the show, I would love for Trump to assign Matt Gaetz as a special counsel to go and look into how individuals in Congress are making their money and how they are becoming individually wealthy, because they become individually wealthy, to go into basically their coffers to see, and I don't know if this would be legal at all, but to see how they're all making their money and to see if they are using insider trading, or maybe even because it is public how they trade, to maybe look at the rhythms of how they're trading and what bills that they are part of in the committees and things like that.
I
and
want
to
it
find
to
out
be
why.
no, I want it to be a little bit secretive just so I can follow the Nancy Pelosi stock tracker and follow her and make some fucking money.
I say that and I never do because I'm an idiot. So Nate, you coming in saying, not saying the Taliban is great, but there are key differences. Taliban is still shitty. And listen, there's truth that we fucking created half of these terrorist groups. Okay. We create some of these terrorist groups when USAID was funding cultural revolutions in other places, and the CIA was trying to do overthrows and coups with leaders they don't like, where we were helping these places. That's factual. We were creating some of these groups. So again, they're not great. None of them are great, but we are a massive cause. The West in general is a massive cause to a lot of the fucking turmoil in the Middle East. I'm not giving them a pass for being fucking terrorists, because being a terrorist is a shitty way to go about it. But we're a big cause there. Most coming back in. It will work to get most of them to leave, not all. What we call the establishment is almost similar to a religion for a lot of these government employees. There are many zealots amongst them. Yeah, they believe that they are the power. They 100% believe that they are the actual government. And that's what we're seeing Elon and Trump and Vivek and them trying to weed out, right? Trying to get these people out that think that they are above our elected officials, and the people that our elected officials have allowed to have sway over them. Because I listen to Glenn Beck. I don't know how many of you listen to Glenn, and he's told the story over and over about how when Bush was elected, I don't know if it was the first or second time, but when W. Bush was elected, he went to go visit W. And I think it was the first. I think it was after 9/11. He went to go visit W. And he asked him, what's something about, being president? And I think he said it was off the record, like something like that you didn't expect. And he said, you come in here with a lot of things you want to do. And then once you see it all and they lay it all out for you, you realize that you don't have much of a choice but to do what they are basically asking you to do. Like, you don't have the power that you believe you will have as the president. And I think that's true, right? Like, I think Trump experienced that in the first term. I think Trump tried to come in with piss and vinegar and think that he could do things the right way, and he got fucked in a lot of ways. And I think this time, this is why the last 4 years, as much as they sucked, I've heard other conservative people say it, may have been a blessing, because it allowed Trump and his team, the smart people there, to sit there and go, okay, now that we've experienced how government works, let's figure out how to say fuck them and do what we want to do outside of them. And this is what we're seeing. This is the product of it. So this has been good. Dave, you're currently mowing through food that people can't see. What did you get?
Well, I'm not eating yet because I'm taking my time with it. I got some tenders and some fries and fruit punch high C.
Are you dipping it in anything, or do you still not dip in anything?
Well, I usually do. I didn't get any this time, but I actually like Boom Boom sauce and shit.
Boom Boom sauce is fucking delicious.
Great.
I mean, have you ever had Bang Bang chicken?
Yes.
It's so fucking good.
Yes.
I make it in the air fryer. Oh my god! Now I'm not making Bang Bang chicken. So I'll read this, Dave, since you're feeling like shit. Great news on that front. Nicole Shanahan, very wealthy Maha progressive, said she's going to put her wealth behind primaries to all the Bernies and Warrens. She was on the Dave Smith show, and Nicole Shanahan was making the rounds because since when RFK decided to go behind Trump, Nicole Shanahan went all in with him. And basically, she is a huge X factor because she has a ton of money. And she basically said, again, I think I heard her on Pat or Glenn over on The Blaze. And she said, the party turned on her. The party turned on RFK. The moment she hits with RFK, she's a lifelong progressive. They turned on her. And then, again, I don't know how real it is, but she was basically saying, like, these have been the places that have been inviting me. It's been, I'm not necessarily a conservative, but I'm starting to see who the people are that are going to allow me to speak. And that's
Well,
like the first red pill moment for these people.
And that's the thing, though, is that, and we've said this a ton of times, a lot of people say this, is that Trump himself is really not a conservative. He is a
I
Bill
think he's
Clinton era.
become more,
He's
but he's
probably
not.
become
Yeah.
more of a conservative, but he's still around a Bill Clinton era Democrat. He's
Yeah.
still around these things.
Yeah.
And it's more of a populist movement. You can say it's a populist conservative movement, but it's more of a populist movement than it is really anything else. It is basically just like what we saw with the USAID there. What we know was probably going to be found out in all these government agencies is that there's been corruption going on for a long time, with a bunch of elites telling the people that, no, you can't do these certain things while they make money off their backs.
And, yeah, there's all that. And this is why we're going to see, like, the neocons are fucking shaking in their boots, man. The neocons are shaking in their goddamn boots for what's coming between the corruption and the Epstein client list, which Dick Durbin's holding up, which tells me either Dick is protecting some incredible, powerful people that he basically works for, or Dick Durbin has taken a few rides on the Lolita Express. Like the person who released the $59 million in FEMA money, they knew they would get caught. Yeah, but here's the thing. Like you said, Mosin, they're true believers.
Yep.
So for them, it's the cause, right? They can go down, but it's the cause, and they will be praised and they will be lifted up. That person that let go in FEMA was high ranking. I think she was like the VP or something. She's going to get a job at some massive NGO, not for profit, or in the fucking open society and things like that. Like, she's going to get praised. Nachi, fucking Dave up.
Don't hate. Don't hate.
Listen, there are times where I rip through plain tenders, but it's only if I'm like driving.
I'm also a very plain person. So.
We both are. I've varied more, but we're both pretty fucking plain. But no, like, I'll rip through. You know what? I will rip through chicken fries, because chicken fries have a different flavor than just regular chicken. Those you can just mow on their own. They're good. And Maha Dems versus MAGA, net positive. Yeah, I mean, listen, I know for a fact that post-Trump, all those people are going to be like against me and David, right? Like,
it's going to be
MAGA,
really interesting, whatever
Maha,
post-Trump is.
We're going to see a much more parliamentary style split in America. We really will, where we're going to be very factioned more than we are now. But I think it's going to be a good thing, because we're going to have those Dems that aren't leftist, right? That are going to still look at the commies and the socialists that are letting themselves out now and just go like, we're on the left, but we're not them. Like, we can't be them. Like, and they might caucus with Democrats, but they're going to be your true independents. I really believe, like, your Maha and your left, your disassociated Democrats are going to be your true independents in the upcoming future. I think MAGA is just going to kind of go away. I'm not going to lie. I really think MAGA is going to disintegrate. And they're kind of all going to fall back into being like rank and file Republicans. And I hope we just continue to see the populist movement and kind of like the true conservatives rise some more.
I do actually think that one of the only people that could kind of continue MAGA is JD Vance right now. I think he's one of the only people that could do it, because he hits on some of the things that Trump also hits on.
Yes. Now, could Marco create an unholy alliance if he continues to build this resume and it seems like he's becoming more MAGA by the day with what he's doing? Can he be that unholy alliance of getting the establishment to shut the fuck up for a little, while also, because he was an establishment guy, right? That's kind of what lost for him in 2016, is he was an establishment pretty boy. And now 8 years later, he's playing ball. And in 4 more years, could he be that guy that's kind of like the bridge to like the establishment? Like, hey, I was one of you guys. We're still like, you guys still owe me fucking favors, but I'm also a part of this group because MAGA is my bread and butter now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's going to play what he needs to play to win, obviously.
It's going to be an interesting future. However, I mean, right now, I think this presidency is turning out great, but however this presidency turns out, it's going to be an interesting future.
Let's get to a few more comments. I love your comments. Thanks.
Yes.
I appreciate you all. Tim Pool has referenced the concept of the flow of the USD around the world is what props it up from a legitimacy perspective. Its role in global AI commerce.
No, just global. Just global.
What?
It's just global, I'm pretty sure. because he corrected it after after his global commerce.
Its role in global commerce
Yeah.
isn't backed by any inherent value. Yeah, and yes, it is the flow of the dollar, and that's why we need to fight BRICS, right?
Yeah.
Because if the dollar isn't the world currency of business, then we are fucked. But that's any country or place that will have that flowing, right? Like you see in the Ottoman Empire, the reason why you gain one currency, even though they were a bunch of different groups, you force them to go through one currency because it adds legitimacy to your power, right? And we have that power over the world, which is why we need to break up BRICS, which is why we need to continue to, if we're going to go to any sort of crypto, United States needs to lead that. It needs to be what United States picks. And I see a bunch of people saying Tether might be a way to go because Tether is attached to the US dollar, but it would just be a digital version, which makes sense. It's already on the blockchain. It's already open. So it's like, it would be a smooth transition to Tether for a lot of people. But let's keep going. Aside from the flow of it, aside from the flow of it from the corrupt channels that exist, maybe that's more of a reason for the freak out than anyone worried about going to jail.
And that's a fair that is a fair point. That's a very fair point. I because like I can understand because there have been a bunch of people talking about soft power and stuff like that. And while you can kind of disregard some of these people because they don't care about other things, these people wouldn't care about other certain things. They're just bringing this up to have an argument. Yeah. But there is some legitimacy to saying that, well, we had our hands in all these things. So a lot of these countries, whether they like us or not, had to respect us in some type of ways. But there's other ways to garner that, right?
And Trump's doing it, right?
Exactly.
Trump is he's doing it the opposite way where they were sitting there and trying to infiltrate, which is what leftists do, right? They infiltrate through your what do we call them? Your fucking institutions.
Yes.
And where Trump is going, we'll just bury you economically because we're more powerful than you. Play ball.
Yeah.
And I like that way better.
He's bringing the big stick into it instead of like the very small, like basically diced carrots that are going out throughout the country. Because it's not carrot, it's carrots, right? But Nate saying, especially watching the top leftist streamers literally rip each other apart. Equaline, Destiny, Hassan. I don't know if you've seen any of that, Alex.
I've heard a little bit of it.
Amazing. It's funny as hell to watch.
It's what the leftists do. They can never stay aligned.
Yes.
Here's the thing. Here's what's going to happen. And I'll let you read this real quick and I'll shut the fuck up for a few seconds.
No problem. And I'm actually going to read the next two real quick.
Okay.
When all your top streamers are ass, while right-wing streamers grow, Questa Boys being the best. Very appreciate that, Nate. Thank you very much. We try. We try. And he also says, new Destiny content nuke is wild, Dave. I do know. I watched the Kino Casino clip on it. But I don't know if you've seen that, Alex.
I didn't, but I will.
This motherfucker, people calling him like Epstein-y. It's pretty much correct. It's actually really fucking bad.
Oh, no. You couldn't happen to a nicer guy. Anyway, the thing is, the difference is, where they're ripping each other apart because that's what leftists do, right? When they can't play victim anymore, they start to get vicious and try to take each other down. The only way they know is how to be more powerful than each other and dominate. When we break up on the right, your ones that were always leftist are going to do exactly what they're doing, right? They're going to try to rip apart. You're going to see your Fuentes, your Groypers, that the left of the right, like that, like they're the right arm of the left. Those people, they're all leftists. They are. They judge people by segregation and that's them. They are going to be the ones to be vicious. I can see your trads going that way, right? Your trads are very much leftist in a lot of ways. They're going to be very vicious. Your more conservatives, your populists, some of your disassociated libs, they're going to battle ideologically. They're going to tell each other to fuck off, but it's not going to be that vicious. No one's going to try to bury each other in that space. I think that's going to be the difference there. It's going to very quickly break up. But good. Fuck the leftists. They deserve everything they're getting.
It's been an absolute shit show, and it's been hilarious. And also, real quick, before we jump into the next topic, we're already an hour in. We still have a shit ton left. It's hilarious.
We do.
Anyway, I consume right and left content from top to bottom, fellas. This is the best show there is, and that's the bottom line. Because Nate G said so. But thank you yet again.
Nate, we appreciate you, man.
Yes.
So let's move on, Dave. You're right.
I am right. I'm also to the right of you right now. So Anna Paulina Luna was put to the what is the correct term of what she's the head of?
It's probably like a commission.
She can be the head of anything she wants to be, but what is it? But anyway, she's looking into a bunch of the things that we want to look into, the things that Alex preambles about.
Yep.
And a whole bunch of other, I'm going to say conspiracies because we'll just put it out there as that for right now. It's how they're generally known. But a bunch of other conspiracies and what actually happened during these things. And one of the things is the JFK assassination. And she said this during her conference today.
What's your priority list? Because Epstein, 9/11.
Our first investigation will be announced, but it's going to be covering on a thorough investigation into the John F. Kennedy assassination. And I can tell you, based on what I've been seeing so far, the initial hearing that was actually held here in Congress was actually faulty in the single bullet theory. I believe that there were two shooters, and we should be finding more information as we are able to gain access into the SCIF, hopefully before the files are actually released to the public.
And it's going to be a task force. I was looking it up. It's a task force.
Oh, no.
Our stream's lagging.
Okay, it's clear now. Good. Was it lagging when we tried to play the video? Is that what it did? Which might have been the issue. Anyway.
Sorry about that.
I mean, it's a small video. Yeah, it was my AOL disk. It was 100%. But Anna Paulina Luna is saying that from what she sees right now, she believes there are two shooters. Now, I don't know what she's seen. I don't know if she's correct on that at all, but it is interesting just coming out and straight up saying that, right? Because you're putting a lot on the line saying that, to be completely honest with you.
Yeah, she's putting her life on the line. I'm not going to lie.
Well, partly, but I mean, just either way, you're putting a lot on the line just coming out and saying that. But to have full, not only just investigations into what all the stuff that went on during this and all the records of it, but just to have some kind of transparency on these things goes a huge way. A huge way in just making people actually kind of like trust the institutions a little bit more.
100%. And I think it's going to be interesting. The JFK stuff, he did release the JFK file, so people can go and look, right?
I do not know if they're fully. No, I don't think they're fully released yet. Okay.
So, side note, you know how leftist women get incredibly screechy? Do you think she'd be incredibly screechy if she started yelling too? Because I can't tell with her voice.
I'm going to go out
nasally as some of the leftists.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that most women can get incredibly.
Yeah, so I was thinking about that. I'm like, please, no one invite her to a rally where she has to yell. It completely ruin the image of Anna Paulina Luna. Like, speaking, that's fine, but no yelling. Never yell, Anna.
Yeah, but this is a quick thing about what is going on there. I'm interested in
keep track of it.
Yeah, I'm interested in what they find. Well, I'm not going to get my hopes up, to be completely and totally honest with you. Mainly, I just want to set a low bar.
Well, I mean, the thing is, a lot of people walk into the SCIF and walk out with a completely different opinion. So they see some shit.
Yeah.
When these, intelligence people come to them. And I do firmly believe they come to them with some things. And, I am a firm believer that the public doesn't need to know everything. There is some shit we don't have to know, okay? Because there's too many idiots amongst us that will panic. And that's honestly the God's honest truth. Because if we know everything, you'll see we looked during COVID. We had a disease that we knew was not deadly to 98% of the population within 2 weeks of it spreading. And we went through 2 years of lockdown. Okay. So there is things you got to be careful with that you need to slow roll out there. So I think that's kind of why some of these things happen. She might walk in with piss and vinegar and walk out and be like, Epstein killed himself. JFK maybe was one guy. We'll talk later. You know what I mean? Like, we'll see what goes on there. But if they're not out to cover their own asses anymore, they might come out and be like, yeah, one was Lee Harvey, one was a fucking CIA guy. The CIA guy did the headshot. Like, who the fuck knows? I'm interested. I'm interested, but yeah, never screech in public.
Yeah. They'd say nasally is a defense mechanism for women. It is.
That is true. Yeah. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on this. We'll see. Epstein definitely didn't kill himself. So we'll find out who killed him. Hopefully. That'll be cool. If it was Hillary Clinton herself.
It would actually be. If it was herself, I would be impressed. I would genuinely be. If she
was Hillary herself, I'd be like, Trump, pardon the woman. She's a bad.
Like, I mean, come on now. Anyway.
Pardon the woman, and I'd vote for Chelsea for president.
I would not.
Because her mom's awesome.
You wanted to rant.
Not even
rant. So here you go.
So I want to talk about this because this is something, and this is nationwide, but this is on the New York DMV website. It's talking about, I don't give a fuck about the cancellations. That's because of the stuff. Get your real ID now. Beginning on May 7, 2025, the federal government will require your driver's license, permit, or ID to be a real ID, to be real ID compliant if you wish to use it as an identification to board a domestic flight within the US. So here's the thing. If they sat there, and I know they've had, like, we've had the Excelsior ID over here in New York, which I didn't get because fuck them. I don't want to pay more money because you really you have to pay $100+ every time you change this shit up. This to me is something fucked up that anyone in the Trump circles, if you hear this at all, you need to sit there and work on real ID because there is not a single good reason why I need to have an upgraded ID to present to fly domestically. Not a one. Now, I know people are going to say, well, you still have to bring your passport and you still have to bring this. Yeah, sure. I already have my passport because I travel to other places. That is my other form of identification that I am a US citizen and I can travel. I should not need to upgrade my ID to get permission to fly domestically. We should barely need permission to fly domestically, we're being quite honest. That's Trump next thing. Get the fucking TSA the fuck out of here. Like, fire all of them. They're useless. Because, they obviously don't do a great job if we have planes fucking crashing everywhere, finding shit, especially if people are being fucking shady, which I don't know. But this right here, we got to work on the real ID. This is another thing. We've talked on here, Dave, about digital passports, IDs and things like that. This is federally mandated. This is another type of way where they are going to try to enhance to know who we are even more. And yeah, fuck you. I should not need an upgraded ID to fly domestically. Dave, do you have an opinion?
Are you sure it's not pronounced Real ID? Like Real Madrid?
All right, the stream's over, guys. It was really nice talking.
Nate agreeing with you. COVID-0 is still a Reddit thread. Yeah, I mean, it's Reddit. I'm just going to say it's Reddit. They tell us little green men are coming in saucers to destroy us all, and then you have to ration paper to wipe your ass for 12 weeks. Yep. Yeah, it's kind of how it goes.
It is. But Dave, do you have any opinion on like the real ID thing? Because I fucking hate it. Number one, I hate having to go there. They're probably going to be like $120 each just to fucking change it over.
If I remember correctly, I think I do have a real ID because when I moved from Virginia to West Virginia, they have real ID in West Virginia, and moving my licenses over, I ended up just getting one.
And Nate, that is the thing. He said the state of Arizona uses a gold star to identify real ID. I think all of them have that star. I think it's a star. So we're getting the mark of the beast on our IDs. I'm not even fucking kidding. Like, I'm getting biblical on us. The mark of the beast going on our IDs to make sure we're in compliance once again with the federal government. I'm sorry. Fuck that. The government needs to look into this, and Trump needs to end this shit before May, because there's no reason why a bunch of individual states need to be on the federal line like that. That's what our passports are for. Do you agree with me, Dave, that this is bullshit? And our passports serve as that federal piece of paper that calls us a U.S. citizen?
Yeah, it's silly. It's silly, right? It is just more of a grab for things, It's all meant to be for convenience, but then it's not for convenience. And
it's for control.
More. Yeah.
It's all for. So anyone that's watching, Pastor Scott, you're close to Trump, and anyone that's close to Trump, we've had Paul and Gracia on. I might message them and be like, hey guys, get in his fucking ear about this, because this needs to be kaput. There's no reason why a bunch of individual states and citizens of those states who already have passports need to sit there and now have another thing to be federally connected. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Oh, Nate's saying I don't travel, so I don't need it, but I gave my buddy shit for it. He's a traveler. Is he a blues traveler? No, you do it too well. We'll get copyrighted. I actually really like that song.
It is a great song. That song alone made me want to learn how to play the harmonica. I think I picked it up once and I blew into it. I'm like, too difficult. Like, not doing it. And that guy, he's fucking, he's based as shit, and I think he got canceled.
Is he? I don't know. I remember, I think the music video for that is him. He had, it was a fake band. It was like they were Milli Vanilli-ing it. And it was a fake band that was doing his music because he was too fat and ugly to be on the stage. I'm sorry, that was mean.
I mean, but yeah, honestly though, but yeah, I think he's based, and I think they tried to cancel him. He's in I think he's in some new band or something like that.
I don't know.
But I'm pretty sure, like, if I remember correctly, he was one of the people during COVID that was like, "No, eat a dick," and got fucking called out for things. But yeah, so that's my rant on the Real ID. I think it's nonsense. I think we need to, non-compliance. Fuck you. Like honestly, fuck you. My passport is what I need to get on a plane, not another form of my state identification. Go away.
So speaking of going away, one team was told to go away very bluntly during the Super Bowl. I actually did not watch the Super Bowl at all. I saw clips and stuff. One of the exciting whites got a pick six. It is truly the beginning of White Boy Summer already.
Dude, Cooper DeJean is a fucking dog.
He is a beast. He is actually a beast. But I don't know how much you watch. I had work and shit, so I was just like, you know what? I need to sleep. I need to drive. I'm not going to watch most of this.
So this is the next time that the time that I'm going to do to make my little story time about what I went through this weekend, because it has to do with the Super Bowl a little. So Friday night, my daughter starts to get under the weather. Quick, whatever, blah. Saturday, she wakes up. She has the flu. Fucking sucks, right? So I get up and I'm like, it's a little chilly. It's the morning. It's winter. Usually you get a chill, right? I go to look at my thermostat. 60 fucking degrees. Now, mind you, for up to me at night, I would keep it at 65, but I have two young girls. We keep it at 67. That 2 degrees does make a difference. And I like to get it up to around 70 during the day. I don't like to live outside. I like to live in a house with, heat. So I look there. I'm like, this is supposed to be at minimum 67. What the fuck? So I go downstairs, and I have natural gas. My pipes are fucking freezing. So I need to now figure out this boiler situation. So long story short, Sunday, Super Bowl, still not going on. We find out Saturday that the piece that they tried to fix isn't the right one. We're getting it fixed tomorrow. But Sunday, we went over to my mother-in-law's house, who was off in the ether vacationing, but we ate dinner there because we wanted warmth in a home, take a shower, and not freeze our asses off when we got out from doing it. Because I still had hot water, just no air pumping through. So go there, do that, come back. Super Bowl's on by the time I get back. So I'm putting my kids to bed. I have my one daughter. I bring her into my room and I'm like, just go the fuck to sleep. And I turn the Super Bowl on mute and I start watching it. So that's how I watched it. I was able to watch the halftime show. I turned on for that. I don't know, Dave, I don't know what your opinion was. That you said you didn't watch halftime show, right?
No.
Dave's muted. Okay, there you are.
No, I did not. I only saw the clip of him performing Not Like Us, which I thought was pretty
Which is always good.
But that's all I really saw.
So I watched it. And bottom line, if you are not, it was not the right person for a halftime show, right? Kendrick Lamar is a great artist. He's one of the best rappers we've seen ever in a long time too. He's up there as one of the top rappers of all time. But if you're not a very big rap fan, you didn't know who the fuck he was, right? He was featured in one Taylor Swift song. He may not like us.
I forgot.
You maybe heard "Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe" years ago, but it's even when he came out, Stay Humble was a big song. It was on mainstream for a little bit again.
Not Stay Humble. Jesus
I know
Christ.
that, but whatever. But regardless, he's been on things, but he's not that mainstream of a guy, okay? Having him on there was a mistake. But for me, who likes Kendrick, I thought it was fucking great. Opening up the act with a never released song. He opened up with a brand new song. That's balls, man. To open up with a brand new song. Awesome.
Hold up. Was it a brand new song or was it off GNX?
I think it was brand new.
Because I don't know. Did you listen to GNX?
No, probably
not.
Then
you might
have. From what I heard, it was an unreleased song.
Oh, okay, never mind.
So it was to open it up with that. And then, again, if you're a fan of his, after that, you knew all the songs. You were able to rap to it and stuff like that. Not Like Us is obviously the one that everybody knew, which was a cool moment because the whole fucking crowd. And when he went A minor, the whole fucking crowd did it, which is awesome. More patriotic than I expected. At one point, they made the flag, which I thought was cool. It was all red, white, and blue imagery. But I mean, yeah, it was. I thought it was fine. I like Kendrick. I thought it was good. Not a good halftime show for the regular casuals, but a good halftime show for me who likes rap. But yeah, The movie,
Yeah.
the game was the game. Let's get to some comments.
Yeah, I
real
want to
quick.
run through some of these real quick because we had some from the previous section. Text Pastor Scott, we got Tulsa in the Trump team because of this show. I like to believe that.
Yes, we did.
Global ID is more like it. Yes, that is correct.
Agreed.
We should have gotten inauguration invitations. I would have loved it, Nate. I really would.
I would have definitely went.
Cooper DeJean is the man. I want to say Eagles. I'm just gonna say Eagles. Eagles are gay because I can't.
Iglesias.
Yeah, it's difficult. 52% of Philly is functionally illiterate by federal standards. They started robbing linen trucks to set on fire and to eat horses shit. L for America. The mayor of Philly can't spell Eagles. Yeah, I know. I know. That's why
Nate is so mad.
Kendrick sucks. Check his USAID contribution. And I know who he is through friends, 40 acres and a mule. You're a gay wad, in my opinion. That's fair. Look, literally, Kendrick has said he is a black Hebrew Israelite. He
has.
He is not.
No.
He's not a part of our political affiliation.
I am not going to begin. I can separate the fact that I enjoy his music from the fact that he's retarded. Like I can separate that. Like I like the way the guy flows. I think he's a good rapper. Do I think, am I going to sit down and fucking pick him on to run on my ticket? No, I don't give a fuck about his political opinion either. Like, I don't care. Like, that's fine. You can be a black Hebrew Israelite. They have no fucking power whatsoever. So,
but I will do the meme and say I did like his older stuff more than some of his newer stuff. I thought GNX was kind of a mid album.
GNX was okay.
That's his newest one. Yeah,
Damn was really good.
I enjoyed Damn. But
Damn was
even
top to
then,
bottom.
going back and listening to like Good Kid, Mad City, Section 80 is like I don't know. It's different styles, to be quite honest with you.
His style changed up, but Damn is one of those albums where there wasn't a bad song on Damn. And that's I like the whole thing top to bottom. I can listen to it full on, not skip a song and be very happy with it. But again, he's also not everyone's cup of tea. Even some rap fans don't like his style because his styles are very switch up. Like, I mean, he's not a typical rapper, but I mean, dude has a ton of credit. He's Compton. So it's like him and Dre have that connection. So, I mean, I guess I've always liked his older stuff. Again,
city quite like mine.
there's a lot of people's older stuff is better, right? Drake was actually a rapper at one point. Anyway, Mosin coming in, Taylor Swift literally did the side-eye meme. Could believe the orange man was applauded over her. I mean, here's the thing with Taylor Swift. I don't give a fuck about Taylor Swift. I don't hate Taylor Swift either. She's at the point where she's so big that she gets hate just for that fact, right? There's no actual real reason to hate Taylor. I mean, she let her political opinions be known. I didn't expect her to be intelligent, okay? I expect most of these people to be retarded. So I'm not surprised she's a retard. But again, like, the hate is quite literally because she's massive and people are tired of seeing her.
That, and I mean, also, there are Eagles fans in that stadium. They're gonna boo her. Like, that's obvious.
Yeah.
And
she's about to break up with Travis because he's a fucking loser, and she's gonna make a bomb album from it.
That'd be fucking fun. I hate you. Nate, I'm a Jelly Cowboys fan. Dak does own Jalen, FYI.
Yeah, but here's the thing: Jalen owns a fucking Super Bowl trophy and an MVP, and Dak does not. Sorry, Nate.
Entire NFC East.
That's fine. He can be 33-8, but fucking Jalen is 2 Super Bowls in 3 years, 1 Super Bowl championship, and an MVP. I'm sorry.
MVP for the other one too if they won.
And I mean, he wasn't the MVP of this one, if we're being honest. It was the front four of the Eagles D-line.
I heard that D-line was vicious.
They were close to ending the game and giving the trophy to the Chiefs because they hit Patty too many times. Like, that's how many times they hit the man. And they couldn't really say anything, right? There was only one time when they had a strip sack where they did get hands to the face, but it was after the ball was out anyway. I'm surprised they didn't go and fucking, I think it was Graham's. I'm surprised they didn't just go and cut Graham's hand the fuck off. But I mean, no, they beat the shit out of Patty. Honestly, the Chiefs offensive line should be fired front to back. They failed Pat Mahomes. They did not give the Chiefs a chance, and kudos to the Eagles. They were monsters. It was good. But again, we got to remember, the only AFC team in the last 2 years to beat the Eagles, Dave, who is it?
The Jets.
The Jets with Zach Wilson. So we are the greatest AFC team of all time. I will just throw that out there. But all right, so let's see what else we got. Mosin saying, right, Philly fans, they would boo Bob Barker on his last episode of The Price is Right. And,
they 100% would.
Hell yeah, because Bob deserves it. Fuck Bob. Anyway, no, I like Bob Barker. So
wrong, bitch.
I don't know. I was surprised. you know, Philly jumped out to a 24-0 lead at halftime.
Yeah,
And I mean, it came to a point where it was like, okay, 24-0, is it safe against Mahomes? Not really. I always expect, like, you always expected the Chiefs to hit a run and go, right? And do something, because that's what great teams do. But at the same time, Dave, maybe it's just me. The Chiefs just don't feel as good as some of those other great dynasty teams. Like, the Chiefs do not feel half as good as the Patriots. I'm not
look,
gonna lie.
I said it throughout the season, and inevitably I was proven right. They actually got farther than I thought they would. But a lot of the Chiefs' wins were really close. I mean, it is a lot of it was kind of based off some luck there, right? And I know people are going to say also the refs, but still,
100% the refs. Not even luck. The refs.
But a lot of it was also based off luck, like people missing last chance field goals, or even blocking field goals. I mean, yeah, that's good special teams, but that just doesn't happen that much during a season.
Yeah.
So they had a long string of things going their way, and I kept telling people like that cannot last you. Like that's difficult to have last. Your talent needs to be able to just win games.
Yeah.
So, and you know what? They still got through the playoffs, got to the Super Bowl, which I mean, kudos
miraculous.
to them.
Yeah.
But the Eagles are just overly talented. Like that is one hell of a roster, and
it's a really good roster. And Saquon was the perfect addition there. He really was, just to kind of cement that offense.
That guy's a monster.
He is a monster. And I do have to say, I saw some people dunking, especially the leftists dunking on Harrison Butker because he didn't have a field goal attempt. He didn't have a field goal. And they're like, oh, and then apparently they took his fucking suit from him when he came out of the shower last. They forgot, like, the people were collecting the clothes, I guess. And they mistaked his because he's right next to Patty Mahomes. They took his suit, which he came out naked basically, which is hilarious. But they were trying to dunk on him because he's a conservative guy.
I love that there's still some random hate for Harrison Butker off of him giving a speech to a Christian college.
A conservative guy talking to a Christian college and a bunch of Christian women who were about to graduate as Christians.
Funny as shit, dude.
Dude, it's these leftists that are atheists that don't know what religion is and have no happiness truly in their life. Bottom line, they don't have any happiness
with his money off of kicking a fucking football.
Yeah, and they were dunking on him. He didn't have 0 points. He didn't have any opportunities. You stupid fucks. He can't control that.
They don't watch football. They don't know.
Okay. A few more comments here before we move on. He's 33-8 with the Jerry Jones handicap. Give this man some love. You mean a Stephen Jones handicap? Jerry Jones hasn't done shit in years. Jeff Lurie is a good owner. Jerry is in contention with a couple of owners. Others for worse owner. Here's the thing. I will contend that Jerry's not a terrible owner. Okay, the guy spends a fuck ton of money. Does he meddle? Yes. But does he sit there and try to build the best team? Go talk to the Mets fans before Stephen Cohen. Go talk to a fucking Oakland A's fan. If you want to talk about a shit owner, go talk about some of these mid-level fucking football teams where their owners will not go out and get a free agent because they don't want to go over fuck with cap space. I'm sorry. People could be pissed at Jerry Jones for being meddling. That's fine. But he spends. He wants to win. Be very happy because when you eventually do move on, say the Jones family goes, fuck this, we don't need you bitch ass Cowboys fans anymore fucking with us, we're billionaires, bye, and they sell to some billionaire that just wants to make money and doesn't care about football, you're going to want Jerry Jones back real quick. Anyway, because you know what? People bitch about Woody Johnson, and I get it. Woody meddles too, and he said he has to be better. But Woody spends money. Woody is trying. Does he make great decisions? No. The GMs have fucking suck, basically, okay? But is the guy sitting there giving up and just trying to make money? Sometimes I get pissed and I'm like, I never want to support this team again. But to say Woody Johnson and the Johnson family, even when Chris was there, is not spending a fuck ton of money to put a winner on that field and it just doesn't work out, you'd be lying to yourself. All right, go ahead, Dave. Sorry about that.
I thought it was going to be shorter. That's why I had to comment on. I grew up watching Peyton Manning and Tom Brady playoffs duels. I don't think Mahomes is much better than Manning was. It's a different era.
I don't think Mahomes is better than Manning, period.
It's very interesting. Well, it's different styles, man. And honestly, so hold up. To be quite honest with you, I feel like if we see Mahomes without Andy Reid performing in the same kind of way, then he's really up there.
100%.
Because the man really is one of the best QBs we've seen ever. He really is.
Agreed.
It's just very different, right? Because Brady and Manning era, those are pocket passers that made all of their adjustments pre-snap, and then they did it right there. While Mahomes does have good visibility on the field, it's not exactly to the same level. He does a lot of stuff with athleticism and other types of things, right? So it is like you said, it's a different era and it's a different style of QB.
And I do give him credit though, because he's out dueling probably the two guys in the AFC that would be, if you're going to talk Brady and Manning, you have to go Mahomes, Lamar, Josh Allen, right? And he has gotten the better of those two
Yes.
every time, basically. So I do give him that credit that in terms of the people that he needs to outduel, he's doing it. And he's doing it handedly. And he's doing it, to me, this is one of his more impressive runs, because who the fuck did he have to throw the ball to?
Yeah.
And who did he have really running? Kareem Hunt, broken because Pacheco was out.
Yeah.
Kareem Hunt's good, but he's not a star. Like, he's traveled now for how many teams? Pacheco is their starter, and Pacheco's awesome. Go Rutgers. But who do you have to throw to? Until Worthy kind of revealed himself mid-year, Mahomes was throwing to Travis Kelce and guys. D-Hop got there late, obviously. So, I mean, I do give him credit for that. He did elevate and carry an offense that shouldn't have been as good as it was. So I give him credit, but they got fucked they got fucked on by the Eagles.
Yeah.
And the Eagles deserve this championship. Now, are the Eagles the best championship team I've ever seen? No. But they were good. Really good.
They're pretty
Really fucking good. That defense showed up, and they're good.
Yeah.
So only bright side, 3-0 would put them on another level. Now it's 2000s Patriots, 80s Niners, and 90s boys. And you need to put the Chiefs in that conversation. They are in there. They won 2 in a row. Andy Reid's one of the greatest coaches of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying, if Jerry is in the way, Jimmy Johnson would have won 5 straight. No, he wouldn't have. It's really hard. Shut the fuck up. He wouldn't have won 5 straight. They would have won more, but he wouldn't have won 5 straight. Dallas Cowboys are ranked 30th in free agent spending. So, yes. But, and here's another thing. He's also loyal to a fault, which we would love to see loyalty from our owners. But you did get me there. Number 1 in the world in valuation above soccer, Real Madrid and Man City. I get it. But to say that he doesn't want to win and he's not trying to win, you will miss an owner that wants to win football games over an owner that just wants to make money. I promise you that. Because there is a huge difference between an owner that wants to win and an owner that wants to keep on making money. 2 different things. So, Dave, maybe we'll move on again, because there's not much to say about the Super Bowl. It wasn't terribly exciting.
Yeah. And you brought up Woody Johnson.
Yes.
Well, he is the owner of the team that is apparently moving on from Aaron Rodgers as a QB in 2025. This comes off a report from Jay Glazer, this guy right here, which is an unfortunate stopping point at the start of this video. But he said that Aaron Glenn and Darren Moogie brought Aaron Rodgers in, had him fly in, which and then said that they were moving on from him.
Well,
now this is not
Aaron Rodgers came in willing to restructure his deal.
Yes,
to stay on.
This has not been verified. The Jets
been announced.
The Jets and Rodgers have not come out and said anything about this quite yet. So this could be incorrect. But from what we know right now, the Jets are moving on from Aaron Rodgers as their QB, to the chagrin of some people and to the excitement of some people. It is a very, very divisive group here.
And our favorite reporter came in today. Well, my favorite reporter, Dave, Miss Diana Rossini, who has been wrong about every fucking report related to Aaron Rodgers since he's become a Jet, number 1. Number 2, Garrett Wilson was much less likely to be asked for a trade now that Rodgers isn't going to be here. You don't know anything, Diana Rossini.
He's so mad.
Nobody should trust this woman. She doesn't know shit. She is a female Manish Meta. Scorn this woman. Get her the fuck away from the franchise. She doesn't know anything. I don't think Garrett Wilson's going anywhere. Because it's stupid. Because the Jets universe plays into this. Because fucking Zach Rosenblatt puts his name on shit who people actually like, and he's fucking ruining his name from siding with this fucking dumbass, Diana Rossini, who is just trying to sit there and be mad at Aaron Rodgers. All she is, because Aaron Rodgers said, you don't know anything. You don't have my number. Stop pretending to know me. Like, bitch, go away. Go away. And you're invited on the show, Diana. I will tell you, you have been wrong. Stop reporting on the Jets. You're making shit up. And you're right for the Athletic. Stop. Anyway, so but with all that flowing, this is the dumbest move. Aaron Glenn is a 4-year head coach now. Congrats, man. Congrats. You and Darren Moogie will be the next people out in 4 years. Because instead of giving yourself a chance to win 8, 9, 10 games this year, with that roster, that Aaron Rodgers, who looked much better towards the end of last year, you have now given yourself a ceiling of Tyrod Taylor to win fucking 6 games. Because apparently that's who they're going to move on to, Dave, is Tyrod Taylor. That's who they're running with. If that's your game, or if you bring in Matt Ryan, if you bring in fucking Sam Darnold, Sam doesn't want to play for us. And I still don't trust Sam Darnold off of one good year with Justin Jefferson, okay? Which I get it. We have Garrett Wilson. Cool. But I don't trust Sam Darnold. What are your options? You're moving on for Tyrod. Aaron Glenn, you may have just sealed your fate as a 4-year coach. Because you're going to start off losing, and you better do a good job of Daryl Moogie. You better fucking sign these young players. Who are we going to lose, Dave? We're not keeping Sauce, Garrett, Brees, Jermaine Johnson, all of them. We're not keeping all 4. Who are we letting go?
I don't know. Probably Jermaine.
Probably Jermaine, but we're not keeping all 3. We're probably keeping 2 out of them. I'm not going to
Probably
lie.
Jermaine and Brees then.
Which is insane, right? You're going to let them go?
Yes and no, right? So the thing is, the reason why, if you're not being able to keep all 4, right, you would get rid of them because, let's be quite honest here, with structure, with how things run, you can run off of DNs that might not be as big, or running backs that might not be as explosive, but they're just explosive enough, like especially if you open holes for them. So unfortunately for those positions, you can be a bit dime a dozen on these positions, even though there are great people in those positions. So you can get rid of them, and it's not end of the world. I know I don't want to get rid of them. I'm a Jets fan. I like these guys. Yeah. But speaking as a football perspective, you can, and it's not end of the world. You can actually fill those gaps.
What is your feeling on the Jets moving on from Rodgers?
I mean, if it is true, I mean, like, I don't know. I don't really care. Like, to be quite honest with you, because there is also a possibility of Rodgers retiring. So, look, however we go, I think it was going to be a struggle either way, to be completely and totally honest with you, even with Rodgers as the QB, because everything's going to be so fucking brand new that it was going to be difficult. Rodgers was not going to be in the system that he knows, that he likes. And I mean, he is Aaron Rodgers, so he can run damn near any
system. Figure it out.
Right? But he's still not going to be in a system he knows and he likes. And this team is going to be very different from the way Salah is run, at least from what Glenn has said so far. Yeah. So, from what I could see, look, if this is the message of like, look, this is a completely, entirely new team, and I actually get that from that perspective. You want to get away from the years of promises not being delivered, right?
Agreed.
You want to get away from those years. You want to get into years where you are building a team from the draft and maybe filling some spots in free agency.
And it really seems like Woody's giving him and Moogie the free reign of creating their team.
Exactly. And that's the thing
that
for me,
perspective.
is like, I understand. Look, Aaron Rodgers coming back to the team, you could be a playoff team, right? Especially at the way he looked at the end of the season.
Yep.
But there could also be the possibility, especially since
he had like the 3rd best season of a Jets quarterback ever.
Yes, yeah, 100%.
Statistically,
but especially because he can't move as well as he used to. He could still get injured very quickly, and you're right there to Tyrod Taylor, and then you're eating even more money and all these types of things, right? So I don't know. It's either way this move went, I didn't really care. I just want to see the product on the field and what actually happens during this offseason.
What bothers me about it, though, if Aaron Rodgers was coming in going, I want all my money, I'm going to be the guy, fuck everybody, move on, right? He's being a scumbag.
It said he came in, wanted to restructure. I understand.
He wanted to restructure. He said he's willing to mentor. He understands where he is in his career. If they draft a young kid and he'll mentor him for at least a year. And he's willing, like, he seemed like he actually wanted to be a Jet. Like, he wanted to come back and do it and play. And if you see the reaction from some of the players, both Quincy and Quinnen Williams are fucking pissed. You could see that they are mad. Breece Hall's unhappy. Like, you see that there's guys that liked Aaron Rodgers in that building a lot. And again, how can you give up the chance to have Aaron Rodgers teaching Jordan Travis and whoever you draft? If you draft a kid, right? Like, how are you giving that up? Especially, again, if he's willing to sit there and not be that $36 million cap hit. If he's willing to restructure it and take less to come back. I just don't see
I get it.
the logic of saying no to that. Because again, if your goal is, if you're going to go to Tyrod anyway, if he gets hurt, you were going to go to Tyrod anyway.
Yeah.
What are you losing? But if he doesn't get hurt and he plays and he got the ball to Garrett Wilson 101 times last year, and he just got, he had his best touchdowns of his career, 7. I mean, maybe you tell him. He apparently, one of the reports was, and I don't know who said this. It might have been Diana's dumbass too.
It was Diana.
That
you can't go on Pat McAfee.
Shut the fuck up! You don't know anything. You don't know anything. Like, I don't think that's true. I don't think that they're going to sit there, and especially Aaron Glenn, who is not that much of like a crazy guy, is going to tell him you're not allowed to go on Pat McAfee. I don't think they're going to tell him. I think they'd be like, hey, if you're going to come back here, it's going to be a different ship. And you know what? Like, I don't see anybody telling Aaron Rodgers anything, number one. But number two, I mean, that's such a stupid thing to bring up. Why, Diana? Because every time you made a report, he refuted it and he was right, you dumb bitch. I'm so sorry. Like, it makes me so mad that we give this woman any credence.
Anyway.
I hate the female Manishmeta.
I am interested in seeing what comes of this, whether or
I
not
hope he comes back too, so everyone's wrong.
Whether or not it's confirmed in the near future, or it just comes out and just says, no, he's actually returning. And they actually
does. And
they somehow pulled out like a dirty leak, to try to find out who's leaking all this shit.
He's returning, and then they cut Tyrod. Reverse Uno. I like Tyrod. Don't cut Tyrod.
If I remember correctly, we're supposed to hear whether or not this is true within this week, so we will find out apparently pretty soon.
And again, if this is Aaron Glenn and Daryl Moogie's way of saying, hey, we're going to figure this out, and if they have a contingency plan and say, hey, listen, we're going to figure something, and they go and they get someone that can play, because I like Tyrod. Tyrod's not your starting quarterback, okay? Tyrod's your stopgap. And like I said, it's a 5-win year. If Tyrod Taylor, with this roster, it's a 5-win year. If they do try to run on Darnold, okay, you got a great season. He threw for 4,000 yards. Let's see what he could do. I don't think Darnold wants to come back. The fuck do we want to come back to New York for? Unless he really wants that redemption arc. Maybe he wants to come in and, I mean, just keep him away from the hookers. No more fucking mono for Darnold. But
can't get it anymore. We're good on that aspect.
I mean, he'd figure it out, right? It's New York. You don't know what the fuck they have there. But all right, I want to get to some Nate G stuff right here. Yeah. Because he's been yelling at me. Jerry Jones waited 2 days before the season to sign Dak, $20 million in cap wasted. He's not perfect, Nate. I'm not saying he's perfect. Nate saying just watch the Great Wall of Dallas. It's better said.
Getting BTFO'd right now.
I am. Irvin rule of pushing off and salary cap became out of the 90s boys. And that is wild. Rodgers and McAfee are great shows. And I don't believe that's real. She's been wrong and has lied about every report just to make Aaron Rodgers look bad. Nobody in the Jets organization talks to Diana Rossini. I can promise you that. I don't think anybody talks to her. Because if they do, then she would fucking...
Oh, hold up.
Oh, yes.
Jameis to the Jets.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I tweeted that out on X.
I did see that.
That Jameis is the only acceptable answer. If you bring famous Jameis here and you can give me the fucking 40-40, I'm excited, okay? Give me the 40 touchdowns, 40 picks. Let's fucking go. Let's go. Dude, fucking Jameis Garrett Wilson will have 150 catches because that's all he's going to throw to you. Yeah. He'll just throw the ball up and it will always be a fucking go route or a deep fucking skinny post. And it'll be boomer bust. I'll have 150 catches, 2,000 yards, 14 touchdowns, but that'll be the only 14. I don't know. It'll be fucking great. Bring me Jameis. I want Jameis. He could see now.
he can see. He was having a lot of fun in New Orleans. Anyway.
Dude, he's awesome. He has a great career. Career on Barstool. He's going to be fucking fantastic. If he should sign with Barstool, and Barstool should start doing commentary on games with him as a color commentator.
Whoever he goes to is getting a great addition of someone that's just fun. Someone that just can bring joy.
Or if they hire him as a sideline reporter, it'd be fucking fantastic. If somebody hires him as a legitimate sideline guy.
I want Barstool again just to pair him up with Gruden.
Him and Gruden calling games? Oh my God. Let Gruden be the fucking play-by-play and him do color. Or they both switch it up. Who gives a fuck? Make a Manning cast. Just do like a Manning cast.
No, they just chill on the couch watching a game and talking. You know, they have that like cave where they have a whole bunch of people watching a game. Just have Gruden and Jameis doing that together.
I will say too, I think the Manning cast is over because the McAfee cast is so much better than the Manning cast. I like the Manning cast, but the McAfee group at the sideline of games, number one, Pat McAfee is dedicated to trying to be play-by-play, and he's really good at it. And number two, the crew is funny. and they don't give a fuck. And neither did the Mannings. To their credit,
I
the
will say
Mannings
this:
didn't give a fuck.
there is a different clientele though for both casts, right? Manning
Yeah.
cast is boomers. McAfee is for the bros. The
What's hurting the Manning
frat
cast
guys.
though is their interviews are not great sometimes. Some of their interviews are real bad. And they're boring. Like some people they bring on are not great, but I mean, I don't dislike the Mannings. I love that fucking Eli double birded Peyton. That was hilarious.
Yeah.
One of the best memes ever is Eli double birding. And they get to some good stuff. They're smart guys. They know the game. They're good
Yeah.
at what they do too. It's fun hearing them call like offenses and defenses. Like they do better than what Tony Romo does. They were doing it before Tony was doing it with the Manning cast. But I like the McAfee cast better. I think the McAfee cast is fantastic.
It's saying, bro, Garrett will have 1,717 TDs. Yeah.
I think the 17 TDs might be lowballing. I'm not
It'll
going
be fantastic.
And then Brees will have the other fucking 23 somehow.
Yeah.
Like from Jameis. Like they will figure it out. Oh man. Give me famous Jameis. That'll be so fucking good. I will send crab legs weekly to wherever they are for the game for Jameis. Just for him to actually, if they celebrate, to actually bite the crab legs. That'd be so good. All right, Dave, what else have we got here?
We are going to move on to a story I saw going around.
Yes.
I believe it was Daily Mail that was actually going viral, this specific one. More Americans on Ozempic go blind as doctors sound alarm over potentially startling side effect. So this is just now coming out. Experts are sounding alarm about blockbuster weight loss drugs like Ozempic, leaving users blind. Several studies have linked the shots to conditions that cause inflammation and block blood flow to the eye, causing severe and sometimes permanent vision loss. So
you lose weight and your sight.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
And this has to do with the use of semaglutide or tirzepatide, whatever the fuck, the active ingredients in Ozempic and Mounjaro, respectively. One woman injected one dose of semaglutide for her diabetes and woke up the next morning blind in her left eye. This prompted her to stop the medication for 2 months before her diabetes forced her to go back on it. 2 weeks after restarting, she lost vision in her right eye as well. Another woman who had been taking semaglutide for a year woke up one morning with a painless shadow over her left eye. Testing revealed blood vessels in her retina had become damaged, leading to blindness. And one suffered bleeding in his left eye after taking tirzepatide for a year. However, doctors told him to keep taking the drug due to a lack of evidence linking this condition to weight loss shots. And I mean, like,
mind you, Ozempic was initially a type 2 diabetes drug.
Yes, that's
exactly. Not meant for. So you are giving a bunch of people that don't have type 2 diabetes, except for that one person in the beginning.
Yes.
But you're giving most people that don't have type 2 diabetes.
Yeah, and
this drug for type 2 diabetes.
This article is very short, and it talks about a little bit, but I did find this right here in Medical News Today. Review links 3 potentially blinding eye conditions to GLP-1 drugs like Ozempic, and they go a little bit deeper into it. I'm not going to read the whole thing. It's not like it's long, but it's wordy. But one of the things they bring up is rapid blood sugar changes may be behind eye issues.
It makes sense.
While it's still unclear as to what may cause a person taking a GLP-1 medication to experience an eye issue, researchers hypothesize that rapid changes in blood sugar levels might contribute to these eye conditions. These drugs are very effective at reducing blood sugar, and when one rapidly reduces blood sugar, it can cause swelling in the optic nerve, Katz explained. It can also temporarily worsen diabetic eye changes. How it causes swelling is thought to be due to an osmotic shift. When there's more stuff in your blood, in this case sugar, and you suddenly reduce the amount of stuff in the blood, it causes rapid shifts in fluid between blood vessels and cells in the eye.
Bottom line is, whenever you get something this rapid, that is not necessarily surgical, right? Because even the surgical one, when they do like the liposuction and stuff, has dangers, but that's different than making a chemical change in your body.
And I do want to say this really quick. Katz also stated that they are not recommending anyone stop using GLP-1 drugs or not use these drugs if they're recommended by their doctor.
Yeah.
What we recommend is that if you experience a change in your vision while using one of these drugs, you should consult a prescribing doctor and see an ophthalmologist. We're also recommending that if patients are starting these drugs or increasing the dose of these drugs, they should do so slowly to reduce the risk of dropping their blood sugar and causing an osmotic shift.
And the bottom line is, with any medication, there will be side effects and everyone will be affected differently, right? Like there will
Yeah.
be a main effect of the drug that will be general for most people, right? Like everyone knows you take ibuprofen, it's going to help with swelling, it's going to help with pain. Like that is a general thing. Now, everyone's side effect to ibuprofen might be different. Some people may have none, some people may have some that are more severe. So you're looking at this, and obviously something this different, right? That is highly changing the chemical balance of your body to, you know, help you lose weight. Again, with type 2, you do gain weight. So there is a reason to do it. And again, diabetes has everything to do with sugar and blood sugar. So it makes sense that that's what this will be helping to change. But you're giving it to people off label for the purpose of losing weight and not for type 2 diabetes. You're going to see this type of shit. So Mosin coming in with those Ozempics. Nate G, the pop singer Avery has terminal bone thinning disease from semaglutides. Thank you for spelling that out for me because you know I'm a dumbass. Ozempic, aka GLP-1.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy too, and I
just thought this was an interesting story. You know?
It is, and I still love to bring up that I love the fact that Ozempic has ended the body positivity movement.
Yeah, it sure has, hasn't it?
100%.
Sure has, hasn't it?
Ended the body positivity movement. It was nothing conservatives could do. It was a bunch of fat fucking liberals figuring out that they didn't need to work out to lose weight, and they started to, and now they're all looking like Skeletors. So it's even worse. Honestly, most of these people look better
is
fat.
a little scary.
Ozempic face, they look like fucking Skeletors.
Ghouls.
They all look like Michael Jackson. They all look like Michael. Their noses are gonna fall off next. Yeah, that's ignorant. No. Blanket. I find, dude, South Park is one of the most culturally amazing things of all time. Let's see. Ibuprofen kills your gut biome, gets you drunk fast. Thanks for that, Nate. Take some ibuprofen an hour before you drink.
Oh boy, that might not be the best
I do not
idea.
recommend that. That's
that might not be the best idea.
Dude, yeah, I know it's not great. Mosin saying, I guess if you go blind, you don't have to look at your own big ass in the mirror anymore.
That is very fair. Yeah,
that's a good one, Mosin.
Yeah, it was just, like I said, I just saw this going around. So I thought it'd be interesting to talk about just a little bit. I am happy to see that, you know, it might not be like really fucking bad, because if people were able to just starting to go blind after use of Ozempic after a while, and that was just a thing that could just happen immediately, then this could have been really, really bad for people. But I'm happy to see that's not as bad as it could have been. It's just like, you know, you need to be slow on these things, otherwise it could fuck you up.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it could be really fucking bad. And again, I hope that this doesn't happen to people, and I don't want to see people go blind. Like, how fucking it would be sad, because honestly, one of the people that has benefited from Ozempic and seems like she's kind of changed herself was Lizzo, because she seems like she's constantly in the gym now, which if you're going to do something like this, eating right and going to the gym is the way to
lifestyle along with it, you know?
Yeah, changing everything with it. It seems like Lizzo's doing that. She's been constantly putting up pics of her losing weight in the gym. Could be a photo op. But if she's truly changing her life, and that's the way you're going about it, good for you, right? Gonna lose the weight, put muscle on instead, eat better, be better. Good. But if to see like something like this happens, if someone's trying to make a lifestyle change and then they go fucking blind, I would feel bad. That sucks. That does suck. So that would be.
Yeah, I mean, like, if they do, at least I hope it's a temporary blindness, not a permanent blindness, right?
My God, I don't wish that on anyone. That's miserable.
Yeah, but I'm just saying temporary is a lot better than permanent.
Oh, I agree. But
100%
better.
But that's all really for this story. I mean, like,
that's all, folks.
Yeah, it's all, folks. But we're gonna go on to a little bit of entertainment stuff. You wanted to talk about this a little bit.
It's retarded.
Hasbro and Legendary Entertainment have announced a shared Magic the Gathering universe that will include both movies and TV shows. And I don't know.
Who's this for?
Yeah,
who's this for?
I'm pretty sure Magic is still very big,
huge.
But it's also it's big, but I think it's also still kind of niche.
Here's also why it doesn't work. Dave. Go ahead. Do you have anything else?
No, I'm just saying it's a very interesting move, and also I wonder what they're gonna put into these, because you're dealing with a whole bunch of slew of like other type of nerds they're probably gonna be a little bit obstinate about some of these things.
They've lost all their goodwill. These types of groups, and a lot of your Magic people are crossing over from your DC nerds, your Marvel nerds, your Lord of the Rings, especially. Fuck yeah, your Lord of the Rings nerds. Like
I'm very
the
happy to not see Jerkmate rank
it's
trending
fucking
anymore.
weird. The groups that you've already fucking killed and you've already pissed off and you've already called racist, misogynist, bigots are very big crossover with those that play Magic. Now, I've never been someone to play Magic. I had some Magic cards, got into it minorly, but none of my friends were massive into Magic. We were more Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon when I was younger. But this group, number one, is not going to give a shit and not going to give you the benefit of the doubt initially. While there's going to be a large swath that's excited, right? Because there is a ton of lore in Magic as well. It's not going to get a lot of, a lot of leeway. And number two, the thing that also scares me about this, Dave, it'll include both movies and TV shows. Are they going to do the stupid fucking thing
Disney Plus
where you
stuff.
have to watch this TV show in order to understand what's going on in our movies or vice versa? Right? It's like, thing is, if it starts off as a TV show and then there's kind of like your movie that's a branch off the TV show, we don't mind those, right? It's the other way around where like the movie kind of has something to do with the TV show, but maybe not. Or it is like the way Demon Slayer did it, we don't care about that, right? Demon Slayer has its seasons, and then Mugen Train is the next chapter, and then you're back to TV shows.
Yeah, and anime is kind of different in that aspect.
Different,
with the
but
manga the way it is, because like I don't want to go into it, but Demon Slayer
Agreed.
itself, some of those arcs aren't conducive to seasons.
no, but that's much more acceptable if it started that way, right? But again, maybe not, because the lore is so deep here that I don't know. You got to be. I don't know. They're gonna fuck it up. That's just it.
I don't have much faith in this being
None.
good.
None.
I think the high. I think the high actually can be an Arcane season 1. I
Hell
think
yeah.
the high could be an Arcane season 1, but I see it quickly succeeded by an Arcane season 2, where people don't like it as much because it's like the plankton meme in SpongeBob. It's like, I don't know, I didn't think I'd get this far. I
be
just
very
feel
much
like,
Witcher, same thing.
yeah, I just feel like it would get there. I think it could start off well, but I do not think it could continue well.
If it's done well, it'll be massive. Like it would be one of the.
Yeah.
It would be like One Piece season 1, very much so, where you're getting a whole swath of people that maybe didn't know much about it that are going to be really interested in it, because Magic again has a massive lore. It's a lot like playing poker with fucking powers, honestly, in a lot of ways. That's a big oversimplification of Magic, but it's very intricate. There's a lot that goes on, but if they do it well, it's going to be huge.
Yeah.
It will be. But like you said, can they maintain it? No.
That's the thing. I just
Because
don't
once
think,
it gets big, they're going to have to implant their shit into it to get the message across.
Yeah, I just don't think they can maintain it if they get that Arcane season 1. They get that certain thing. I just don't think they can maintain it. Nate asking us, you guys going to watch the Four Nations Cup in hockey? No more All-Star. It's a nation competition.
I'll watch it. I like the Four Nations. I think it. And I like the sweaters for all of them too. I think they're actually pretty nice. I like that the USA one's simple. Canada one is your typical maple leaf and shit like that. Who else was there? Sweden's in it. But it looks cool. I'm actually happy with the Four Nations. I think it's a much better way to do it. I'm not gonna lie, because the All-Star is kind of a joke in all sports.
Nate also saying, I like Magic, but I was more of a Yu-Gi-Oh as a kid. Now I'm a Gwent guy. Gwent is fucking great. Gwent is a great fucking card game.
I never played it.
From The Witcher, dude.
Yeah, I know. I've never played it. I heard it adds a ton to it.
I think there's actually a phone app to just play straight Gwent. I've never had it, but I think there is.
I still want to finish the books before
I fucking love Yu-Gi-Oh.
I have more books to read.
I still love Yu-Gi-Oh. I don't follow it right now because I didn't like the fucking links and shit like that.
Do you have the dueler thing on your phone?
After XY, I have Master Duel. After XYZ, I think I checked out because XYZ was just enough for me. Like I didn't need anything after that. But
I was done once they left the second season after Duelist Kingdom. Once they like kept going after that season, I was done.
No, I'm saying card game wise. I'm saying the things because like I'm fine with Synchro. But I remember correctly, after Synchro, it's XYZ. And I can't remember what's after XYZ, but XYZ is where I kind of stop card game wise and the way I like to play. But yeah, I'm sorry. That's me Yu-Gi-Oh nerding. I've been playing a whole bunch of that shit. And most of Nate G talking about Gwent. Gwent is fucking. I haven't played enough of Gwent. I played it a bunch while I was playing Witcher. but I stopped after that. I should play more, to be completely honest with you, because I remember it being fun as shit. I don't remember how to play. If I remember correctly, there's like 3 lanes and stuff like that. And it's
Stay
actually
in your
pretty
lane,
fucking
bitch.
good. I was gonna say the one game that I remember playing that's kind of card game-ish, that I love just as a video game in general. It's an indie game. Alex, you should play it. It's a really fucking good. It's called Inscription, but it's a big story game too.
Okay.
So that game is fan-fucking-tastic. It's pretty simple the way it works, but I think that game is great. I love that card deck builders and all this stuff are getting kind of big. People actually
Dude,
enjoy
Mosin
playing
coming
these
in
things.
here. 1,700 Gwent hours. I'm a nerd
I
for
love that.
game. Drop support for the game for the Witcher 4 version. I'm thinking that's
I
fucking
love that.
awesome though. You know, that's an achievement, man.
Yeah, that's still great.
Nate, it's so good. It's unfortunately in maintenance mode. Yu-Gi-Oh is still king. Gwent's in maintenance mode, so that answers it. So it's fun. So I got for Christmas, I got my daughter's basically the starter pack, the battle stadium thing for Pokemon.
Yeah.
Where it has the 3 starter decks and it teaches you how to play. I'm finally playing Pokemon correctly for the first time in my life. And
yeah.
like they give you some like dope decks too. You have like a good Pikachu deck, like another like, and like it teaches you how to use the energies properly, how to evolve properly, how to put them on your bench. Like I knew how to play Yu-Gi-Oh. Yu-Gi-Oh is fairly simple and straightforward, more than a lot of other games.
Except the effects can get fucking stupid. Depending on the deck you do, man, that thing's ridiculous.
Yu-Gi-Oh's play is easy. Deck strategy is intricate because you want to build your deck a certain way in order to basically any hand
really
you get, you're going to be able to do something. Right?
It can be really fucking dumb, dude.
You're as good as your deck in Yu-Gi-Oh, 100%. Where there's a lot of luck in Pokemon, and it's a lot. You mix more because you need energy cards in order to fucking play them. It's actually more intricate than people think.
Do I click on this?
On what?
Jerkmate rank the game.
It's a game. I mean, yeah, why not? We're a podcast. Click on it. Go for it. See what the fuck it is.
Okay, nothing bad.
What we see.
This is it. We did it.
I don't want to click on it. Don't do it. We did it for you, fellow Gooners. Dude, I wonder. Part of me wants to see if anyone that like we follow or we're friends with fucking clicked on is liking that. Good way to fucking out them.
I love it. 2 after the modern version, but they had it down. Most heartbreaking dying of a game. Gwent, I will always love you. That is unfortunate.
It is gone the way of fucking Concord.
Well, no, not a Concord was a brutal crash. Gwent actually had a good
Concord was a fucking disaster.
Yeah. So let's not talk about actually real quick talking about gooning.
No, why?
Did you see the clip of that guy that pulled up to a drive-thru with his pants off?
No, I don't watch. I don't watch as much Kino as you do, Dave.
It wasn't on Kino. I don't think it was on Kino Casino. But
I gotta go back and look the archives.
But yeah, a guy pulled up to the drive-thru with his pants off because he was kind of jorking it to the women that worked there. It was some kind of weird kind of place, you know. But they filmed him doing it. So unfortunately, well, it could because he saw they were filming him. He drove away and then he left this mortal coil.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, it was really bad.
Yeah.
But wild story. But then after that happened, a bunch of people went to that location and they held a gooner for him.
No.
Dude. I mean, they didn't like do anything, but they held like a service out there. That was the gooner.
I don't want to laugh at the guy's fate. Obviously, he's a fucking weirdo. Doesn't deserve to die for being weird, but he's obviously a weirdo. But for the internet is a special place.
It was the most wild shit I've seen. I was just like, you got to be kidding me.
I was expecting you to say they all just fucking de-pants and started schwanking it in front of the place.
No.
Could you fucking imagine 20 fucking Fuentes followers just swanking it in front of the fucking place?
I think they had like candles and shit like that. And they held a gooner.
That guy definitely followed Nick Fuentes, and every single fucking gooner there was.
I don't know about that.
They're all gorgeous.
They're different. They're different types of people. But Nate's saying props. I never played the Pokemon card game. I think I learned from an app at one point.
They do have an app, but yeah, like I said, I learned they have like a whole entire like they give you like 3 decks and they give you 2 starter decks to play on the mat, and they like step by step it to do it in a basic level, and then you can obviously learn as you play. But they basically like play you through like the first 6 cards together, like
Yeah.
with energies and how to put things on your bench and how to evolve and graveyard shit and effects and all that. It was actually really, it's good because like now me and my older daughter can play. My younger one still is like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Yeah.
But my older one can read, which helps. So we can play against each other. That's cool.
Yeah, you could. I mean, dude, card games are so much fun. We could talk. I could talk about fucking Yu-Gi-Oh for a long ass time. I played the. I think it was Legacy of the Duelist. Fantastic Yu-Gi-Oh game. That's where you could learn and use so many different.
Didn't you have
decks
a
and do so
Yu-Gi-Oh
many
game for
different-
fucking like GameCube or something? Or there was a game on console.
There was, I didn't have that, but there was a Yu-Gi-Oh game for GameCube.
Okay.
It was different though. Nate saying I used to have all 3 starter decks back in 06 and Toon World. Gave them to my buddy's little bro
Ooh.
because we were too old. Thousands of dollars in cards. That's fucking rough right there.
You had
That's
fucking
rough.
Toon World,
And it's
Toon
funny
World
because
Toon World is still an unstoppable fucking.
I will
deck.
say no. I will say Toon World back then was a good deck, but that Toon World deck back then probably is nothing compared to the Toon World you can build now.
Yeah, but I'm just saying Toon World in general as a deck is still. If
Oh,
you
it's
have
fun.
even a,
It's a different.
insane.
It's a
hard
different
deck
style.
to
It's
beat.
like me playing with fucking Ghost Trick. Ghost Trick's a troll.
You love Ghost Trick.
It's such a troll deck. Anyway, Casino is Kino, Alex. Yes, yes. There will be people getting felted every time. Thank you, Motion, for the Gooner. Did Destiny lead the procession?
Oh no! And Mosin with DSP did the sermon. Did you see fucking
the
what is
camera
it?
was-
Darkside Phil get a job? I think what was that? Someone held the fucking thing up. I forget where it was. It was like on TV.
In WWE.
On
Yeah, people are
WWE.
bringing signs to WWE.
Fucking DSP get a troll like fucking Darkside Phil get a job. Like I fucking love it. I think they were who else did they fuck with? They was it was another fucking
don't
lockout
know, man.
that they fucked with too.
But yeah, dog.
Awesome.
And
Awesome that the
worst part,
WWE people are
Destiny
getting
and
in on it.
DSP are obviously big one. There is so many fucking gooners on the internet, dude. Like, there's so many people that could have participated in that gooner role, and it would have been perfect, dude. And they called it goonicide too. Like, you don't understand how ridiculous this whole thing was.
You know what though? Kudos to them for fucking leaning into it, right? Like turning a fucking thing that people are trying to use against you. And again, I would use it against you, but taking it, making it something that you are, and not like fucking letting people fuck with you. Like I think that there's something to that as long as you don't take it too far,
I would say
right?
other than actually like being Destiny and
Other than
quid
being
pro
Destiny,
quoing
but
women
if you
for
don't go,
shit.
if you don't go that far, but if like say someone accuses you, like what do you call it? We all get called gooners because we want to see fucking people in video games that don't look
Good-looking
like
women
fucking
in video
Frost,
games, yeah.
right? Like, and we want to see good looking, not even just women, like dudes too, like the Marvel Rivals heroes.
Hot take.
The guys are fucking massive, and
Oh,
it's like
yeah.
I want to be that guy, right?
Yeah.
I want to have shoulders that can't fit through a
They're
fucking door.
cartoony in Marvel Rivals, as they should be.
Yeah, and that's what you want to see, and then we're called gooners because of that. Then
I'm
you're not a
going
gooner.
to give a hot take right here.
Oh boy,
I'm probably going to get shit on for this.
oh boy.
Frost would actually look good if she wasn't trying to look like that.
I think there is a picture of Frost
I think she would
looking
actually
like
look
a
pretty
fucking
good.
lesbian.
I think
I'm
she'd
actually going to
look pretty
search
good.
I'm going to Google search Frost.
I don't think like
lesbian.
fucking like Hollywood A-lister, but I think she'd actually look pretty good
On a
if she
0 to
didn't try
1, she would be a 1.
Yeah, and it's just saddening to see that people
Well, I
make
mean, that's
themselves
why-
look a different way than their highest possibility.
Let's see. Frost
yes.
with long.
Maybe I should look for the. I do have one more thing, but I do kind of want to look for the Gooner roll now just to show you because
Please
this
do.
shit's ridiculous. I actually have pulled up as well. We could actually we'll watch this first because I didn't want you to watch this. The Marvel Thunderbolts trailer. Because the antagonist in it is someone I think you might enjoy. I don't know if you know who the antagonist is in this.
Dave, the only thing I don't know, I think Frost got work done to her face to look more boyish. No, I do, because like she doesn't, even with some hair, she doesn't look
That's
very feminine.
fucking
I think she got shit done to look,
This is
because she looks fucking awful, dude.
this is speculation.
Yeah.
This is speculation.
Oh, 100%. I'm looking at some with long hair. It's like, and the ones with long hair don't look like she did towards like the end where she kind of looked possessed. Like she was an actual fucking vampire from Buffy the Vampire Slayer when they turned vampire. Like, I don't know. All right. Go ahead, Dave. Show me. Are we gonna get fucking flagged for this trailer?
No, it's Marvel. Marvel doesn't do that. Marvel's actually one thing Marvel's
Only
cool
thing
with
they're cool with.
is watching trailers and stuff like that. They're actually really fucking cool with that, at least from what I've seen.
Nate saying David's right. Destiny should be on the sex.
Dude, I'm telling. It's 2 hours, Alex. I know you probably don't have time for it, but if you can, like, listen to the Kino Casino.
I don't
clip
want to. The thing about Kino is I don't want to know this shit.
But dude, it's fucking hilarious.
Let's watch this fucking thing. I made a comment on this too, where fucking they're gonna girl boss and Bucky, who's the only legitimate person in this fucking whole thing, is gonna be pushed aside.
Yeah, he's not. He's gonna be Florence Pugh. Who the fuck is
Florence
she?
Pugh.
Yeah, she's Black Widow's sister or something. I don't know.
Well, sister, because they're not really
they're not sisters,
but
yeah,
they were
they're
both basically
orphan
turned into
sisters.
assassins
Yeah,
together.
yeah.
And listen, don't get me wrong. Florence Pugh's fucking hot, so I'm not mad about her running around in tight clothes the whole time. But
Well, I mean,
don't make
if
her.
it was like Oppenheimer, where she pulled him out, and then people would be more accepting of going.
People
to see
like
this movie.
Marvel all over again if Florence Pugh's getting naked. All right, let's go here. Let's watch this awesome fucking trailer.
Let's talk facts. The Avengers are not coming. Let's talk facts. The
She looked like Tulsi Gabbard there.
That's the whole goal.
She looks exactly
Whole goal.
like not exactly, but she looks like Tulsi Gabbard there. I'm sorry.
And listen, Julie Louis-Dreyfus is still a 1 on the 0 to 1. I don't give a fuck what anybody says.
Avengers
Bones and all.
are
okay.
not coming. Who will keep the American people safe?
Oh, Bucko.
There's some big threat out there, and you
We'll stop
gotta
real
help
quick.
me stop.
How are the Thunderbolts going to fight that? I've seen that tweeted out.
Not even that. That's the fucking meat there. That's what they do. They bring Bucky in first because they want to make you think that Bucky's going to be the guy. And honestly, if Bucky was the leader, he should be. But if Bucky was the leader, you could believe maybe that they could defeat something like this, right? Because he's a super soldier. He's Cap, just with the fucking bionic arm, right? Like, he doesn't need the shield necessarily because he has the arm. Better if he had the shield because he should be the next Cap. But if Bucky's the main guy, you're looking at this going, okay, maybe he could lead a group of ragtag people that are just, semi-heroes, right? Keep going because they're going to fuck this up as they always do.
Stop it.
Wait, us?
Yeah, you. Why, you got someplace to be?
I love that guy.
So none of us comply? So what, do we all just punch and shoot?
I can't think of a worse group of people trying to work together.
None of this is very inspiring right now.
None of this is
the Thunderbolts is supposed to be like a ragtag team, right?
Yeah, but the thing is, this looks worse than the first Suicide Squad. This is quite literally this is Marvel's version of Suicide Squad.
It's a little rough. Yeah.
This looks worse than the first Suicide Squad. The first Suicide Squad at least had decent trailers, honestly. The trailers to the first Suicide Squad made it look watchable. And then you watch it and you're like, they're just trying to make Will Smith look great. And it wasn't great. And then Margot Robbie's just hot.
Yeah, I mean, she did look good in that. So.
No, she looks good in life.
Yeah.
Everyone here has done bad things. You can't escape.
We would get fucking hit for the music. Stop using the. No, I'm sorry. The music would hit us. That's what would get copyright. I'm sorry.
Hold on 1 second. There are Frost feminine pics, not abhorrent. That's not a compliment. Not abhorrent is not a compliment. Mosin saying looks a lot like Tulsi. Yeah.
Yeah, weird.
Marvel sent WWE cease and desist for Rey Mysterio's outfits. DC could do a funny thing.
Yes. That was a thing that was passed around today. I don't know if you know, because he was wearing like Flash stuff. I think it was Marvel and DC both sent cease and desist because he was wearing Flash stuff. He was wearing a bunch of things.
What a fucking bunch of losers, man!
But he was just wearing a whole bunch.
You're putting them out to your fans, wrestling fans or comic book fans.
Yeah, WWE is just like, you might need to slow down on these costumes, right? Because we actually got something from it.
And if I'm Ray, I actually show up in Anthony Mackie.
But that was a while. That was a while ago.
I would have him. Oh man, I would have loved it if it was now because I would have had him show up in Anthony Mackie's version with the wings and been like, "Fuck you, bitches." Anyway, Veep is great. Julia Louis-Dreyfus just work. Also, the other super soldier. But the other guy he's like half the soldier that Cap was though. Like he's not great. And he's a fucking dumbass. Anyway, let's keep going.
The past. Hey, it's like your mind is somewhere else.
So you can do something about it now,
I'll stop with that.
or live with it forever.
I do like that he
Pulling
watches
his
his
head,
arm
watch-
into the
yeah,
dishwasher.
yeah, it is pretty
That
good.
is a great touch.
Yeah.
I do like that. Keep
Also,
going.
I hate Florence Pugh's Russian accent.
Oh, it's awful.
I hate it.
Nope. Nobody ever
Look.
watches anything with Florence Pugh in it to hear her talk.
That's fair. But like, look, Russian accents on women, they're pretty attractive accents.
Yeah.
The right one, they're pretty attractive. She doesn't give it justice, to be quite honest.
And also, it's funny that like ScarJo didn't even try, and now all of a sudden, he needs to have a Russian accent to be
Yeah.
here. Like ScarJo was just like
Yeah.
American. Yeah. Let's keep going.
This could get messy.
No shit.
We need to stop this like every 20
You thought you were gonna be
because of
some-
the music.
I know, right? Well, maybe not. Well,
Oh,
it'll be fine.
But why is fucking Tay Tay the fucking music for this?
Yeah. What? Wait.
What is action about Taylor Swift?
No, this isn't Taylor Swift.
I thought that is Taylor.
Great saviors.
No.
You can't even
That's
save
a-
yourself.
Oh, what the fucking name of this song?
We can't do this.
Wow.
No one
Sounded
here
like Taylor Swift.
is
They
a
all sound
hero.
No,
like-
it didn't.
Lena, when I look at you, I don't see your mistakes. That's why we need each other.
Okay, that was really good.
We are the Thunderbolts! Can't call ourselves that.
God, thank you.
Like, look, if you're gonna lean in to this whole "we don't have superpowers" thing, I just hate that it's all comic relief. Like, these people kill people, actively shoot them directly. Like, they don't fucking care. Like they said, they've all done bad things in the past. Make it a little bit darker. Do something with the tone.
That, and it looked like they were going for Florence Pugh to have like a moment there where she was kind of getting emotional, and it could have been like a bonding moment for the team. And what do you have to do? Oh, we're the Thunderbolts. Don't call us that. Like, you fucking
To be
ruined.
fair,
what
it's in the
could have been a good-
trailer. It could have been better. It could be better in the movie, but still bad
True,
here, right?
but
It's
still, if it
bad here.
ends up with that, like, it could have been possibly a pretty powerful moment where, like, okay, I'm pulling together with this group, right? Like, if you're trying to make her the leader, she's having a moment where she's going in there. Maybe I'm pulling, okay. Because here's the thing, as gay as some of those moments are, they do pull the fucking glue of the movie together at times where you're, okay, am I on the cusp? Oh, now I'm going to lean in with them, right? Like, you need to have those cinematic moments. And like you said, everything's comedy.
Yeah, Will Smith pre-Rock Slap. Deadshot sold a lot of merch.
And then he was terrible, though. And then here's the thing. He sucked as Deadshot. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. He was a bad Deadshot, and they wrote that movie terribly. There was zero investment in any fucking character in that first Suicide Squad. And whatchamacallit, Clint Eastwood's son should have been the lead guy. He was in there, Scott Eastwood. The fucking lead military guy was awful. He had the worst shitty stupid accent, and he was the most unbelievable military man of all time. You believe that he could barely work in a fucking Calvin Klein underwear commercial? Well, get that guy the fuck out of here. All right, let's keep going.
Yeah, it's not fucking Taylor Swift. We can
Oh,
build
nothing's
this
gonna
thing
stop us now. It
together.
sounds
Yeah.
like Taylor singing it.
I don't know how the fuck you heard that.
I don't know. Because all
You're
Taylor
going
Swift
crazy.
songs sound like this.
You're going crazy.
I
Anyway,
think my dad's gone crazy.
This has makings of team that can rise to glory. Bring light from the darkness.
The fact that this is where they're bringing in Taskmaster.
no. Taskmaster was in. I think she in Black Widow. She was already brought in.
Oh,
she, by the way, she.
I know that. Yeah, they were.
Yeah,
I forgot
because
about
they
that.
had a guy doing all the fighting, and then when it was
know.
revealed, it was revealed as a woman as Taskmaster.
I know, which was terrible. Black Widow sucked. Okay, the action.
I can't
wasn't
remember if it was
terrible in
Black Widow or whatever, but it was in something.
The action wasn't awful in Black Widow, but then as the story came along, I think this is terrible. I just like looking at ScarJo. Anyway,
David Harbour is uber socialist, FYI. Yes, he is. Really soured Stranger Things for me.
I mean,
He is.
I don't care about that. Honestly, I don't give a shit about that. I do like him as an actor, but
He's all right to me. I don't know. His roles to me have gone all this way of just this character, big dumb
Yeah,
idiot. Like
big
that, and
dumb
I don't
idiot.
really care about that. Like, look, he's no fucking John Goodman. John
No.
Goodman is an actor. David Harbour is a big dumb idiot. That's all he is to me. is because of his characters.
And to
Like,
make
he's
and to
not
make him
anything
Red
serious.
Guardian too. Red Guardian's actually pretty fucking dope.
Yeah.
And I mean, he does not do Red Guardian justice at all.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep going here.
This team can be the heroes on the Wheaties box.
Like that's what we're talking about right there.
With
The heroes on the Wheaties box.
Yeah.
Like that dumb shit right there. Go ahead.
little kitty toy.
Alexei, have you slept?
I'll sleep when I'm dead.
I'd like not to die today, so maybe somebody else should be driving.
And I'm sorry.
So hold up.
Why are they called the Thunderbolts, Dave? Do you remember why?
They didn't. No.
You don't know why?
No.
Because you know who leads the Thunderbolts?
Who?
Thunderbolt Ross. He brings them together. It's why they're called the Thunderbolts, because they're under his purview. You can't call him that.
Nate's saying Rick Flag. There you go. Can't remember the actor, but I like Suicide Squad DC Comics. That did suck. $100.
Yeah.
And I know
Thunderbolt Ross was.
I know it might have been difficult to realize in the trailer, but you know who the big bad villain is for this, right? It's
Who?
Sentry.
They're gonna fight Sentry. Honestly, you still think it's Sentry depressed and he's fucking useless. Like, once Sentry is the biggest bitch in all of comics, okay? Because he is stronger than Superman every metric. I don't give a fuck. You're talking about Golden Age. Fuck that. Sentry is one of the strongest non-god characters ever created, but they make him have mental issues, and he fucking is just a bitch. And I don't want to use my power. I might get out of control again. I don't want to help. Like, Sentry's such a loser. All they're gonna have to do is make fun of him.
Mosin saying shit is corny.
Yeah.
It is, and that's the thing. And this, I will say,
Look at you getting credit.
thank
He's
you
cooking
very
right
much,
now.
Nate.
Let's go. Right now.
I will say this is kind of if there is a Marvel turn, if there is a Marvel pivot happening, this is before it. This is in production before it. This is all this stuff was already underway, so
Yes,
they
it's
need
like
to
the
push it out, right?
This is the end of Phase 4 shit that they were hoping was
Well,
going to
Phase
lead
5.
into Phase
Phase
5,
5.
but this was all end of
5.
Phase 4 when they were still doing the fucking TV shows. That was still Phase 4 stuff.
Yeah, but
And this is all connected to
probably
that.
when it started, yeah,
Yeah,
but still not good, right? It's still not
Terrible.
good to have this
Terrible.
coming out while you're trying to kind of maybe pivot as Marvel. Now, will Fantastic Four be able to do that? We'll see, because I think that's their kind of tentpole of where they're going to be from now on.
Alex being racist by remembering. Well, yes, I am. What fucking assholes. You know what the thing is, too? I think what hurts me the most, they're about to kill Bucky's character forever. And that's why it hurts it to me the most, because Bucky's fucking fantastic. And they generally wrote him pretty well in every movie that he's been in. This is going to be the fucking dead nail, because he's going to be a shitty character in this movie. He's going to be fairly useless. Here's the thing. The women are going to do all the legwork. The guys are just going to be the idiots that punch things. And the women are going to figure things out. And they're going to be the reason why everything goes in. And that's the reason why it's not going to be the guys. Bucky's not going to figure shit out. Everything he's going to suggest to do is going to end up going wrong. And then Yelena's going to eventually be the leader. And what she says is going to be the big thing. And they're going to girl boss the fuck out of this. And they're going to destroy Bucky's character. You know, John Walker's just going to be there to be the semi-super soldier that he's going to probably fucking fight with Bucky a little bit. And it's going to, again, because they have their stupid corniness from fucking Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And they're just going to kill Bucky's character. And it's going to be the women that are going to come and they're going to direct the men. And the men are just going to use their power at the intelligent women's behest. But the women are also strong. And they're going to be the ending one that kills Sentry. It's not going to be Bucky or Red Guardian, or the ones that actually have real powers. It's going to be the fucking woman female that has zero powers. That is just a fucking widow that is going to beat Sentry.
Nate's saying emo soups. If you misgender him, he will unleash. It is ma'am. Dude, if they had that in there, it'd be incredible. But
no, honestly, you know how they're going to fucking win this? I promise you. This is how it's going to be. After realizing he can skull fuck every single one of them just with energy, Yelena, or whatever the fuck her name is going to talk to him and tell her that she understands.
She's gonna use talk no jutsu like Naruto.
She's going to tell him that she understands his darkness because she went through it too. And they're going to talk, and she's going to relay her troubles as a Black Widow and the fact that she can't reproduce anymore. I can never be a mother, and that's how it's gonna end. She's going to talk to him. I guarantee this is not going to be like a climactic fight. That's how it's going to end. She is going to rationalize with Century, who can't be rationalized.
The worst part is I can actually see that happening.
That's how it's going to happen.
But well, we'll move on from this. We all know how this is probably going to turn out. We might talk about this in the future. We'll see.
No,
but we'll move on from this.
I don't want to
because I had to add this in now that it was brought up.
We're already at 2 hours 20. Let's do it.
I know the Gooneral, also known as I know I'm on Know Your Meme. I know normie shit, but whatever. This is the first thing I saw. Also known as Bikini Cafe Drive-Through Gooneral or Goon Lord Vigil.
Wait, it was a bikini cafe?
Yes, that's why he was there. That's why he pulled up with his pants down. I mean, still
it makes sense for a
creepy.
gooner to do. It's creepy, but it makes sense for a gooner to do. At least it wasn't like a Burger King.
I don't want to say his name.
The wearing a fucking button up and whack it off to them.
The drive-through goonicide man who exposed himself at a coffee shop drive-through in Arizona and later committed goonicide in early January 2020. I'm not going to say.
I don't want to laugh. I don't want to laugh.
The funeral occurred in front of a drive-thru featured in a viral video recorded by one of the employees in late January, spawning memes, jokes, and backlash on whatever. And this is the candlelight vigil, Rest in Power Goon Lord, Sunday, January 26th at 6 p.m.
Call him a Goon Lord. The Gooneral.
The Gooneral right here. Bring candles and flowers.
I hate these people so
And
much.
Not only is the question, are you pulling up? People did pull up. People brought candles for, dude, it's so fucked up. People brought candles.
Oh my God. I mean, this is better than any George Floyd vigil, I'm not going to lie, so. They're doing a religious fucking sermon. They're doing an R Gooner for him.
When I say his name, you say Nautica. Say his name.
That's fucking wild, son. But yeah,
Why do they have the black guy leading that? That's the most racist thing I've ever seen in my life.
But this is the Gooneral. This is what happened. This is what you missed somehow.
God. You know what? Good for them. They have a cause. My God. This is awesome.
Yeah.
Nate's saying in our day, from first to last at Atreyu were emo. Now it's misgendering.
Yeah. Yeah, it's unfortunate.
And now from
at least look,
and now
I'm not gonna lie to you.
Abandoned from first to last, and he just makes dank fucking whatever it is.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Seeing this as outlandish and fucking wild as it is, it makes me feel like the kids are gonna be all right because they can make these types of jokes and shit like that. That's what it makes me feel like. It's like, you know what? We might be okay in some aspect.
Absolutely, because you know what? They're using their autism for a funny ass cause. Like, that's it. Like, using the autism for funniness is the best.
It's fucking awful. It's terrible. But I can't say I'm not gonna laugh at it.
The window tint awareness movement. Or Nate, I'm sure his fatherless child will support this.
Yeah, it is fucked up. Yeah, he was. He was a family man. It is very fucked up.
It sucks. And the thing is, it's like we have found out like porn and shit like that is a disease. It rots the fucking brain. So this guy probably suffered from porn brain and stuff like that, and has seen a bunch of that fucking shit where you do that, you jerk off in front of a chick, and in porn they walk in your car and they suck your dick, right? Probably trying to live in that fantasy and not realizing in reality that shit, number one, it gets you fucking haggled. You can lose everything for being a fucking creep, which you kind of deserve, right? And I mean, these chicks are just trying to work, whether they're rocking around in bikinis or not. They're just trying to do their fucking job. Don't be weird.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, 110%.
Nate G, how about have some fucking morals?
That's fair. That's fair. It's very fair.
I agree.
But it was a wild event that happened. Hopefully nothing like that actually happens again. All of it. But it's still wild. I'm still going to laugh at things that I find funny. So
listen, it is fun. It is funny. Okay. It's still okay to laugh at funny things.
Yeah. But no, that's about it because that wasn't even supposed to be on the sheet.
I think we've overstayed
I
our
added fucking Thunderbolts because I thought it'd be funny to watch you be mad.
and you
But
were happy that I went apoplectic. Thank you for
exactly.
being an asshole.
That's about it though.
But yes, that's it from us. Yeah, 2.5 hours. And I'll be back tomorrow. We have our guest coming on, Brandon Scoopy Robinson, coming back tomorrow. We're gonna be talking some basketball and stuff, so we'll be having some fun, maybe some cultural things. Because Scoop is doing some really good shit. If you're a sports fan, basketball fan, culture fan, definitely go search out Brandon Scoopy Robinson. He's dropping weekly exclusives. Like did you see his article and his interview with JJ Redick, Dave?
I think I might have seen some quotes from it, but I didn't see it.
Just dropped an exclusive interview that he did with JJ, the Lakers coach. So he's the most connected insider in basketball. Fuck that. I'm going to come out and say that. He's awesome. So definitely hang out tomorrow. I'll be talking to Scoop and Dave next Wednesday definitely next Wednesday. We'll see you.
Yes, next Wednesday I will be here.
Okay. So we'll do that.
Real quick, I want to get this because Nate did also. For sure, just as a father, Jesus fucking Christ, can't relate. He should have been an OF creator. He should have been an OF creator. That is true. If he wanted to do that type of stuff. But I mean, look, like Alex said, and I know there's a whole bunch of things about like the porn debate and shit like that. But like, just when you indulge in things to these manner, especially as a man, because I'm pretty sure he's a married man, you shouldn't really be doing that. These are things that like, there's other ways to have an outlet, right? And indulging in basically anything too far gets to a point.
And here's the thing. It's like, I'm not a holier than thou guy. Have I watched porn before? Fuck yeah, right? Everyone, you grew up in the internet generation. You have watched porn.
Mm-hmm.
Like that is part of it. And even if you're fucking just messing around, like you're hanging out with your friends. I remember one of the funny fucking things is they came out with the Pirates of the Caribbean porn, and it was fucking hilarious. And I remember like my friend showing me like, dude, you have to watch this. I'm like, no, I'm not watching fucking porn with you. He's like, no.
I think I've seen the cover of that.
He's like,
I think I've seen like
this is hilarious. And he fucking showed me the Pirates porn, and it was like the terrible porn acting, but they were actually trying to recreate like Captain Jack Sparrow, like fucking all the wenches in the thing. It was absolutely hilarious, but it's been done. People watch it. Again, I agree with Dave. If you're a married man, should you be watching this? No, but are there plenty of married men that do? Yeah, because they're not fucking having sex anymore. Okay, so
yeah, that's a whole other thing, and I'll go even longer into the fucking show.
Why it's continuing to happen?
Yeah.
That's a whole entire other thing.
A whole other thing, man.
Happen, but again, like everything else, everything in moderation, right?
Yeah.
If you are gonna watch porn, don't watch it every single night, 24 hours, every single chance you can get.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you fucking get this way, right? So, am I encouraging people to go watch porn? No, porn's fucking gross. But if you're gonna do it, don't be a fucking gooner. I think that's it.
At least not a full-time gooner,
Don't be a full-time gooner. Like, that's it.
Most of the thing, good show, fellas. Take it easy. We'll have to check out the episode tomorrow. I'm a big basketball fan. Yes, please do. Scoop, like, big time. Knows a lot of people. Unfortunately, some people say no sources.
No sources.
Nate, I find it funny, too. You guys never addressed Logan Gay Paul, though. Yeah, real quick. And this adds to it. Kenny Omega and Adam Page finally talked shit about Logan wrestling, and I saw a little bit of that. I know how you feel about Logan Paul. I don't hate him. I think he's decent, pretty good in the ring, actually, especially as a celebrity, quote unquote, wrestler. Now, if he wants to be a full-time wrestler, like he's got
to get better.
He has to get a bit better and with everything. But him being in the Elimination Chamber is not surprising, especially because in the last year, and he had big moments last year.
He was in the final 3 of the Rumble.
Yeah. So they were going to put him in there. And I think we'll still get some good stuff out of it. Like, he might eliminate someone and then get fucking clowned like he did last year where Randy RKO'd him.
Yeah.
Like, that was pretty fun. But it's obvious they want him fully involved. I know he steals a lot of moves from Kenny and a whole bunch of people. No, he steals a lot from Hangman, Adam Page. He steals more from him, if I remember correctly. But still, it's what's happening right now. It's what they want to do. At least he's not like fucking terrible in the ring. And that's the thing. Like, at least he's actually pretty good. So either way, like, I don't hate it, but I understand not enjoying seeing him in the Elimination Chamber and such.
Here's the thing. I'm fine with Logan Paul because Nate, You're doing exactly what he wants you to do. You're doing exactly what the WWE wants you to do. He's a heel. They want you to hate him. They want you to not want him to be there. They want you to be pissed whenever he gets a spotlight, whenever he gets pushed. That's fine. Do I think Kenny Omega and Adam Page were legitimately talking shit? Maybe. Maybe. Could it all be a part of a work that they're just doing to try and help the actual sport of professional wrestling? Could also be that too, right? Because he is a heel. So everyone's going to play into that character if you're trying to help it. My thing with Logan Paul is he needs to dedicate himself more. He needs to get a little bit better. But one thing I see about him, and maybe I'm wrong, he's not a stiff. He's not out there hurting guys. And that's huge. And I think that's a reason why they are putting him in these big things. Because you could put him with these top talent guys. He's not dragging them down athletically. And he's not hurting anybody. He's not doing things he takes chances, but he's doing them properly. And from everything I've seen from being a wrestling fan, he doesn't seem to be the one that's a stiff that people are scared to get in the ring with. So
it's more of an annoyance that he's up already so far in the main event picture when he hasn't put in the dues,
Celebrities get that though.
Yeah.
And the thing is, where were you going to place him? Right? Like he's had this big thing. And when you brought him as a celebrity, you brought him in and he wrestled top guys already because it was that celebrity moment. And he showed that he can hang, right? Is he a champion? No. Will they put the belt around him eventually if he hangs around long enough? You're fucking right. They're going to put the belt around him. If he hangs around long enough and dedicates himself, he's absolutely going to be a champion at some point. Now, is he ever going to get a face turn? No. Everyone hates him too much. So that might cause him to leave because he's never going to be able to do a real face turn. And I think he eventually wants that. But, I mean, everyone is sinking into exactly people hating this decision, people hating on him. It's what a heel does. It's what you want the heel to do. So I'm saying, so here's the thing. Do I think Logan is better than Adam and Kenny? No, absolutely not. I think Adam Page and Kenny Omega are better than Logan. Absolutely. They are better than Logan. But do I think he puts more asses in the seats? Maybe Kenny would probably put more ass if they push Kenny the right way. I think Kenny Omega is a fucking all-world talent. But currently he's putting more asses in the seats. So said he is. CM Punk wouldn't even look at him for more than 2 seconds. But again, CM Punk's another guy that carries a fuck ton of baggage, right? So it's like, again, we know what wrestling is. And right now, WWE did exactly what they're doing exactly what they need to do with Logan Paul, and it's working.
Yeah. And I will say this, because especially like CM Punk, because CM Punk doesn't really look like he likes Logan Paul at all. Like even like shoot wise, like, yeah, he did do a kill myself motion after 2 seconds with Logan. Yeah, he did. But the thing is, like, I don't think CM actually likes him like shoot wise, like not even work wise. The one thing that I do actually enjoy that WWE is doing is they're taking more or less real life stuff, shoot like real feuds behind the scenes, and they're making them work together.
Which
like
is
CM
what they used to do a lot.
Like CM and Seth, like Drew McIntyre and LA Knight, even though they're apparently good now. I don't know how much of a thing that's that Drew McIntyre was really angry at the Rumble, but it's just like, okay, they're not working together. LA Knight literally says something in his promo. Oh, wait, I forgot to get my stuff in. Like that blending reality and fiction like that is always good to have. And, you know, the fact that they're doing that with Logan and stuff like that is pretty cool. So like, and like Alex said, like he's not better than Adam or Kenny, and he's not better than a lot of the fucking people. He's still a newbie at this shit. He's impressive for what he is, but he's still really fucking new at this shit. But the fact that he is so impressive, and the fact that he can garner so many people that were never wrestling fans into wrestling, especially younger ones, is what makes him so important to the WWE.
Yeah, so that's what I had to say there. So real quick, let's get to most, and then we have to get the fuck out of here, guys. Yeah. We appreciate the comments, but David's dying. David is battling right now. I could tell. As a Pacers fan, I almost wish Tyrese Halliburton would void his contract and join the WWE full time. His personality fits right beside Logan Paul's all-time grifter and con artist. Oh my God. Oh my God. You just fucking destroyed Tyrese Halliburton. $50 million a year for Logan Paul's hype man as my team's point guard.
That's rough.
Wow.
Fucking killing him.
So Nate's saying, thank God Kenny and WWE would
See
do
how
more
you
business.
feel.
Maybe even Adam. Cowboy shit is awesome. Here's the thing. WWE has a unique talent of fucking those types of guys up. So
Yes.
don't ever wish that upon either of them, right?
Yes. And I think
Kenny is a worldwide talent, well known everywhere else.
And the thing is,
But
I
the
agree to that.
WWE.
I agree to that on a wrestling standpoint, right?
Yes.
When it comes to wrestling fans, right? He garners more. When it comes to casuals, like I said, younger casuals, and you can think, I don't like Logan Paul as a person. I'm dumbfounded that he gets watched so much. But when it comes to younger casuals that would have never gotten into wrestling other than Logan Paul introducing them, that is fucking big time, because you want that clientele to come in and maybe then all of a sudden they like Cody Rhodes, maybe all of a sudden they like all the people, and if Logan leaves, they still
and they
watch
like
wrestling.
the product. And I hate to break it to you, Nate. As much as I agree with you, I like Ludwig. You say I can't wait for Ludwig to fold Logan. In that case, Ludwig is dope. They are preparing Ludwig to be a jobber. Unfortunately, everything I see with Ludwig, I think they are slowly. He might get a moment. But they are not taking Ludwig. I don't think they're taking Ludwig seriously. I really don't.
Bronze, because he, fuck, I don't want to go too long. But he's.
It was kind of funny when he slapped Braun and fucking ran.
But that's the thing. Braun, he's going to be out of that mid-card championship soon, the Intercontinental Championship soon. He's going to be out of that soon. So it's really going to be like Ludwig, Sheamus, and maybe a couple other people really fighting for it.
He's got to get some good wins, though, because he has this coward persona, but he needs to get some cowardice victories.
But he does it pretty well. And I think once Braun is kind of out of that picture, we'll see more of that happen. I don't think he's going to be a jobber. I think he's going to be a mid-card guy.
You got to get him wins, though. He's not winning.
Yeah.
He's losing, and you need, like,
look,
he lost
I'm not going to lie to you.
Over,
and I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to lie to you. Ludwig's already winning by dating Tiffany Stratton, okay? So he can lose a little bit. All right. He can lose.
Yeah. Listen. Yeah, you're right.
He can lose a little bit.
It's always Tiffy time wherever the fuck they are. All right. So Nate G, last thing, Penta was mid card. WWE took Penta, and holy shit, he's awesomeness in WWE. Yes, but the rise is meteoric, and he might be one of those guys I don't think they're going to know what to do. Because Penta is not a WWE championship guy. He is not. The belt does not belong around him. He's not that good. I like Penta. I think Penta's fun as fuck. Penta is a mid-card talent. He was in the right place. I'm not gonna lie. I think he's exciting. I think he's fun. Penta, you put a tag team with him and he's a tag team champion and a fucking fun one. Or you create another belt. You get the cruiserweight, the X division, the lightweight, whatever you want to do. That's a Penta thing. Penta is not a champion. And that's where they're kind of skyrocketing now, and it's going to fizzle. That's just me. Dave, I don't know if you disagree or not.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
But we need to get the fuck out of here.
Thank you. Thank you, Nate and Mosin, for commenting.
We appreciate you both for all the comments. It's lots of fun. We've been here for 2.5 hours. We appreciate everyone that watched. Wherever you watched from, Facebook, X, YouTube, Rumble, Kick, all of it. My voice is even getting hoarse from yelling at the fucking Thunderbolts. But either way, we appreciate it all. Please go do your due diligence. Like, share, follow, subscribe. If you're listening to this on podcast form, God bless your soul 2.5 hours later. But we appreciate that as well. Please give us a 5-star review and leave a comment over there. That helps. We're getting out of here. Like I said, I'll be back tomorrow night. Dave will definitely be back Wednesday, maybe sometime in between. Dave, do you have a day off or anything?
Yeah, I have the weekend off, so maybe.
Yeah, but Dave likes to not tell me these things.
Yeah,
and then he goes and does things, and I like find out he was there, and he's like, "Oh, I was busy." I'm like, "Well,
we'll be boxing Friday night, so maybe not Friday night."
Okay, that makes sense. You're gonna get punched in the face. But anyway, we appreciate you all. We're getting out of here. Bye, everybody.